All right, few stories. We'll start with this. Documents that went viral claiming Travis Kelce's publicist had planned his breakup with Taylor Swift. They are completely fake. Confirmed by Kelce's representatives, Full Scope PR. The agency spokesperson stated these documents are entirely false, fabricated, and were not created, issued, or authorized by this agency. The original Reddit post sharing these documents has been taken down. Full Scope is now consulting their lawyers and planning to take
outrage.
Legal action against whoever spread this false information.
Let me ask you, Preston, when we listen throughout the years we've done the show, we've seen these celebrity romances take place and these kind of things.
Yeah.
What are the odds on them going the distance and actually getting married? Percentage-wise. I'm beginning to move into the camp that says he is enough of a juggernaut to be valid as far, and Kathy, you feeling me on this?
Yeah, I think I said it in the beginning. I think that they are going to get married.
Yeah.
Once they do that, we'll determine how long it'll last.
Okay.
But I think they will get married.
Do they get to marriage?
Yes, I think they will get to marriage.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think there's about an 80% chance of that happening, and I think there's about 65% chance of them, quote unquote, going the distance. I mean, you know what I mean?
I'm going to accept those numbers. Yeah, I think that's pretty legit. What do you think that's about right?
Yeah, they're definitely getting married. I have to wait until that happens, and then I'll give you my opinion on how long it will last.
You got to see like body language and stuff like that?
I just got to see how it all goes down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. A source said that the fabricated documents were likely part of a school project created by a fan. The document featured college-like wording and copied logo ripped off from Full Scope PR's website. The document described in detail that Travis and Taylor would announce their split on September 28th and that it was a mutual decision, including instructions for sharing respectful statements to the media and maintaining Kelce's professional image without discussing personal details. Meanwhile, even though these stories say one thing, insiders continue to hint at an upcoming engagement between Kelce and Swift.
It could be a bait and switch.
They were last seen together at the end of August in Rhode Island, and he recently talked about her on his podcast.
It's funny, though, with a document like that, and Kathy, you talk about your PR firm that you went on.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be the kind of thing you would have to have at the ready.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have those ready. I have the templates.
And speaking of Travis, the official trailer for Ryan Murphy's new FX show Grotesquerie is out, and it features not only Travis Kelce, but Nicey Nash Betts, Courtney B. Vance, and others. This is his acting debut. The series follows a series of heinous crimes that have unsettled a small community, and a detective, played by Nash Betts, tried to solve these crimes that seem to be taunting her, according to the series description. And Grotesquerie premieres on FX September 25th. The series will also premiere episodes on Hulu a day later.
So he actually he had hosted SNL, and I was looking at some of the clips of him on SNL, and he did a very good job.
Yeah, he's good. I've been watching.
Did a very good job.
I saw a couple of commercials he's done, and he has. He doesn't look awkward. He doesn't. No. He isn't delivering lines stiffly. You know, he's probably got a shot at being halfway decent.
There's an SNL skit where he is kind of a motivational. Self-defense expert, and allowing you to overcome your fears. It's a very funny bit, and he's really good in it.
All right.
On their podcast, on the Kelce Brothers podcast, New Heights, they had Sandler on recently, and Steve said some really nice things to Travis Kelce about SNL.
Right,
and I'd like to hear a compliment from Adam Sandler.
It's pretty damn good.
That to Travis.
Yeah.
It was nice. And he actually said it to Jason, too, because Jason was on that episode.
Oh, I don't want to boast, but about 900 years ago at Pips Comedy Club, Adam Sandler said I was funny.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's why our careers have paralleled.
Yeah.
Artem Chigvintsev, whatever you say his name, arrest for domestic violence is moving along as the Napa County Sheriff has handed the case to the district attorney who might charge him soon. A spokesperson for the DA's office said that they are looking over the case details, including witness statements and any photos or videos from the incident, and they haven't decided on charges yet, but will announce a decision after a full review. The court date is set for November 4th. Of course, he was arrested last week. He was allegedly went after his wife, Nikki Bella. She hasn't been wearing her wedding ring, and we hear she's been shopping for divorce lawyers as well. So they're moving a little bit closer on
that's going to happen.
That case, yeah. All right, Kim Kardashian, her son, is taking his first steps into the family's entertainment business. Saint West is taking the family name to YouTube with his mom's full support, but not without a legally binding contract.
Thank you.
The aspiring lawyer had papers drawn up and signed by Saint, giving her the availability to take his account private or delete the account altogether if he doesn't follow her rules.
She's holding legal sway over. But if how old is he again?
I don't know. He's still a little kid.
He can't sign a legal document.
Other rules on the he said other rules on the contract include, quote, I am not allowed to comment on any personal family information. I am not allowed to film any personal information. I am not allowed to film while my sister North is recording music. And Kim shared a picture of the contract on her Instagram stories with her own message joking he'd better not breach. So maybe it's not binding.
Yeah.
He's 8 years old.
Okay.
So I think it's just a family.
He'll find wiggle room. He'll hire his own attorney. This is an outrage that you would have him sign this document at this age. He's trying to explore options.
She also promoted his YouTube page, The Goat Saint.
And you know what? It's going to be a huge hit.
Letting her 361 million followers know that they should subscribe to his gaming channel.
300 and how many?
The population of the United States.
The population of our country.
There's probably some dogs in there, though, that have
Maybe.
Instagram accounts.
Yeah, they have
Couple
IG
of bots.
accounts, sure. So Justin Theroux may be off the market now that news of his engagement to Nicole Bryden Bloom is out, but that doesn't mean he won't show love for his ex-wife, Jennifer Aniston.
I think I'm going to cry.
They married in 2015, called it quits in 2018. When they split, they released a joint statement stating that while they may be ending things romantically, they weren't calling it quits on their friendship. They had written, we are two best friends who anyone could ever have.
Two best friends. that anyone.
So we are the two best friends who have decided to part ways as a couple, but look forward to continuing our cherished friendships. They shared at the time, and now Theroux shared with the Times that is still the case. He said, she is still very dear to me, so of course, I feel protective, confirming the two have remained close like they had promised.
Did you read the document closely, though? Because after each time they say friends, there's an asterisk. At the bottom of the page, it says replace with enemies.
Theroux is notoriously quiet about his personal life, but when it comes to his split with Aniston, he is quick to put rumors to rest. He previously opened up to Esquire, declaring, like it or not, we didn't have that dramatic split, and we love each other.
They really didn't. They kind of just faded away.
Now they realized it wasn't working, and they just wrapped it up. All right, I need to see this. I haven't seen the pictures yet, but maybe you remember when Johnny Depp's rotting teeth went viral last year.
Yes.
Well, they took a look. They look a lot different in a new Instagram video, which Page Six confirmed was taken recently. In the vid, he is living it up on vacation in the Bahamas, all smiles, filled with pearly whites, and fans were quick to comment about how great his teeth look.
What I think he did is simply had them whitened or something. I don't think he had a new. Well, I don't know. In this picture,
I want to see the before.
he looks. He looks like Captain Jack Sparrow in the before picture with the pirate teeth.
Man, I saw a video on Instagram the other day. It was an old interview with David Bowie. And he smiled, and his teeth were just yellow and crooked and all messed up and just gnarly looking. So we're looking at a before picture. Yeah, Steve, it looks like he got them straightened out a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, you might be right.
Or veneers or something.
Yeah.
So, but they're definitely wider, and they seem to be a little more uniform in the newer pictures. So, who knows? Andy,
Just saying. Take the f***ing money. Take the
Talking to his
f***ing money.
dentist.
Take the f***ing money.
Andy Cohen has put his New York City duplex on the market because he's moving a 4-minute walk down the street.
I was looking at picture, Kathy. These places, are faboo, as they say.
He spent over 2 decades turning 4 different apartments into his dream 2-story, 3,500 square foot West Village home.
Why don't you do that, Preston? Buy all the adjacent houses and make a complex out of it.
The price tag, $14 million.
Jesus.
He had bought the ground floor back in 2003 for $1.4 million. The one catch, there's no outdoor space.
Son of a bitch.
Meanwhile, Andy's new penthouse home has a huge outdoor terrace, and that cost him $18 million.
We have some family friends who had a condo in Society Hill Towers. You know, the three buildings in Society Hill, designed by IMPay. And Steve, they waited for about 30 years, and their upstairs neighbor finally passed away. And they purchased that. So they knocked out the ceiling, put in a staircase, and they bought the place above them. And they'd been there for long enough that they had the equity to do it or whatever.
Wow.
But it was just
Has anyone investigated this death, Nick?
Right. No. I mean, he mysteriously fell out of the top floor of the building. But, like, other than that.
Well, how did that anvil end up on his head?
Yeah.
No, listen, God bless if he can do that.
Yeah.
Not being a city dweller at all, I'm used to, you can tell a home is large when you see it because it's an individual unit. But there have been times where I've been invited and gone into like what look like row homes from the outside in the city and just kind of, you can't tell. Right. When you walk in, you're like, whoa.
What the hell?
Yeah.
How did this happen? It's impressive.
It's funny because, as you know, the original way to tax homes and property taxes, it was based on width.
Yeah.
Facing the house, and that's why they are not
narrow but deep.
Deep, yeah.
Yeah, and what?
It's like my genitals.
I just found out that have you ever seen those houses that basically it looks like the roof is the wall, where the shingles come down?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is, or at least initially was designed to. It was basically
to repel the dragons.
No, it was to like skirt tax laws. Because there was more roof on the house and less like actual surface area.
There's always a way around it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so yesterday, Warner Brothers released a trailer for a new movie based on Minecraft, set to come out in April of next year. It's directed by Napoleon Dynamite co-writer and director Jared Hess. You remember initially the project was going to be directed by Rob McElhenney.
He's listed as a script contributor.
Okay, and features a star-studded cast including Jack Black, Jason Momoa, Jennifer Coolidge, Steve, the girl who plays Enid in Wednesday.
Love her.
Is in it as well. The film will transport characters into the game's blocky world where they encounter iconic elements like piglins and creepers. I watched the trailer. It looks great. It looks really good.
I'm hopeful. I didn't play the game a lot, so I hope they follow through on it. Are you cool with them being live action?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's going to be a fun little twist on this. And while I didn't play the game, I watched my kids play it for hours.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far.
Bored the hell out of me.
I wouldn't like it personally to play, but watching
the world
my kids play it was a lot of fun. And the creations they came up with were cool. So Black plays the character Steve. And the movie promises a mix of action and humor with the School Rock actor leading the charge in physically demanding scenes. Warner Brothers and Legendary are backing the adaptation with Mojang Studios, the game's developer, also involved in the production. So we will see. We shall see how it plays out. Now, I watched this other trailer. The first trailer for Night Bitch, starring Amy Adams, has just dropped. And Steve, initially, I thought it was going to be about the character from Kick-Ass 2.
Yes.
It is not.
No, Night Bitch was great.
She was awesome. The horror comedy film is about an artist played by Amy Adams who pursues her career to be a stay-at-home mom, pauses her career to be a stay-at-home mom, and discovers she might be turning into a dog.
Okay.
I watched it and I didn't get it.
Unless there's a lot that they're going to follow through with on the rest of the movie, but I agree. It's like, really?
She says in the trailer, I'm never going to be smart, happy, or thin ever again. Oh, and I'm pretty sure I'm turning into a dog. She's put on weight for the role. I think she did that on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like she's playing a newer mom.
Is she a great big fat person?
No, she's not a great big fat person.
She's got a little more meat on the bone.
Put a little weight on. The movie also.
I want to see the scene where the first time she's a dog and greets someone.
She stars. It stars Scoot McNairy, Zoe Chow, and Mary Holland, and is based on a novel of the same name by Rachel Yoder.
Had me at Scoot.
Night Bitch will premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival Saturday and hits theaters on December 6th. We'll see if there's anything else we need to hit before we break because we're already.
We got a long song coming.
Yeah, I know. We got a really long song. I will mention this real quick. Only Murders in the Building has been renewed for a 5th season on Hulu.
I love this show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll continue.
You watched the first season, right?
I watched most of it and then for whatever reason fell out of interest. But with all of these superstars on board for the subsequent seasons. I'm like, okay, it's got to be. I know it's worth watching. Yeah. It just didn't. Okay, I'm going to admit something.
Yeah.
I really don't like Selena Gomez.
Oh, really? Yeah.
She kind of bores me.
Well,
her character, her
monotone.
She's flat.
Yeah.
She's very flat, and I don't get what the big deal is about her.
She grew on me, and I agree. In the beginning, I thought, wow, man, you're with some super heavyweights here.
Yeah.
But she's really grown on me. I like her character, and the way she is fits that. So yeah.
Okay.
But I completely know what you're saying.
Rochelle and I were talking, and we always like to have a show going.
Yeah.
That the two of us share. Then we can, when we have time, we're like, hey, let's watch an episode, and we were like, clearly, this is really, really good. People love it. We should go back to it. So I think that we will.
You know what I love about the cameos on that show is that they're not distracting. It's not like, oh my God, that's Paul Rudd, or oh my God, that's Eugene Levy or whatever. They all work their way into the cast and to the storyline seamlessly.
Yeah, Sting was a good
example. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, we are ready to play some clips for you. We'll start with this one after Baywatch. Moments in the Sun takes an unprecedented look into the stars who brought the world's most famous lifeguards to life through new interviews and lots of old VHS tapes. Here, Carmen Electra and Tracy Bingham celebrate the chance to tell their side of the story.
It was like therapy. You talk about your experience, the good and the bad.
Yes, I felt there was more to say. I felt like I was a different me,
That's
and
cool.
I felt like I needed another opportunity to really get my word out there, my story, my experience.
Being a woman of color and coming on the show,
it was groundbreaking, and it needed to happen.
It was.
And it was real.
I want to see you naked.
After Baywatch, Moments in the Sun is streaming now on Hulu. Was it groundbreaking?
It was a masterpiece. I'll tell you what, though, this is really good, though. What this documentary about the series is really good. I loved Tracy Bingham, by the way. She was one of my favorite Baywatch girls.
It was a 5 o'clock on Saturday night show, was it not?
Casey, so it was like a Saturday, like Saturdays at 7 or something. You got
to have that
the
kind
show
of
was originally
success.
on NBC.
Yeah.
And they had a whole different couple cast members were the same.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't doing well. And so Hasselhoff took the reins on it and made it this syndicated juggernaut.
Wow.
It was the most popular show in the world for a couple of years.
All right, next clip. Here we go. We're halfway through the Bad Monkey series, which follows a former police detective trying to crack a murder case. And in this clip, Vince Vaughn talks about playing the chaotic character, Andrew Yancey.
I just love that this guy's like the Energizer Bunny. There's something about him like a trickster that, despite the obvious odds, he thinks that he can overcome them. He can't let himself leave something that he knows there's some wrongdoing there. And you almost hide your eyes like you should leave this alone, but he can't help himself.
New episode of Bad Monkey is streaming on Apple TV. Plus, we will have a character from the show, Tom Nowicki. He is the narrator, and he plays the fishing boat captain. It's great. We're going to talk to him in the 9 o'clock hour. All right, that is the entertainment report. We need to break right now because back to school A to Z, the Preston and Steve show, we have our first chunky tune to play for you of our run in the A to Z. It's over 10 minutes long.
We never play a song that long.
Never.
Only in the back to school.
So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We're in the eyes. You can guess as to what that might be. If you're thinking about it, last song we played was I Hate Everything About You by Ugly Kid Joe. What might be next? I don't know. Let's find out when we return.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.
So can you just check on the back of the notion that Peter Pan, and Nick, is that what you said, that Peter Pan has the most?
That's what I heard when we were talking about this yesterday, and people were posting on social media.
Because you really want as much sugar as you can in any product.
Yes.
Calorie-wise, they're only 10 apart, and the most calorically high is Peter Pan. It's got 200 calories per serving, which is 2 tablespoons, and the other two have 190, so it's neck and neck there.
About the same, yeah.
But as far as the sugar content goes, it looks like they all have 3 grams of sugar.
There you go.
Although Skippy has a little extra. It says total sugar's 3 grams, includes 2 grams added sugars.
Well, what does that mean?
The other ones don't have, or wait, no, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. They have it as well. I didn't see
They
that part.
all have added sugar.
So they all have the same sugar.
3 grams of sugar, but with an additional 2 grams, which I would figure that to me is 5 grams.
No, it says includes. So it's
3
not.
grams of sugar includes 2 grams of
It's
sugar.
not like a natural sugar. They've added it to the product.
1 gram of natural sugar, 2 grams of added sugar. So just so you guys know,
gotcha.
I have for the past year and a half have been really paying attention to added sugars and trying not to have added sugars in my diet.
We know that.
Yeah.
So which do you take? Your preference taste here was which one, Case?
Skippy.
No. It was Jif.
It was.
No, it was Jif.
Oh.
I thought it was going to be. I thought it was Peter
You
Pan.
wanted it to be.
Well, okay.
If you believe in peanut butter, clap your hands.
Right. And Casey likes to add honey to. He turned me on to the honey peanut butter sandwich, which was good.
Honey's high in calories too.
Oh yeah. But it was. I liked it. I'm not as gaga about it as you are.
Are you doing it with chunky peanut butter or creamy?
Creamy.
Okay, you got to try it with chunky.
We went creamy because creamy is my preference. Actually,
It's the classic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
That seems like so much. What do you need more?
Yeah. What kind of animal?
But you do put jelly on peanut butter, and that's a
that's a good
standard.
point.
So
That's
and
a-
it's
that's
got
a
to
good
be.
point, yeah.
Do you go
just
with
as
chunky jelly or
sugary? That would be marmalade.
Marmalade.
Yeah.
But that's
I do
why-
like marmalade.
I do
though.
like marmalade.
All of that stuff that you. This is a nice healthy breakfast, and it's only 41,000 calories.
Well, so listen, it's maybe not the healthiest, but if I'm using like a good like Ezekiel bread or like
Or Jebediah.
or a Jebediah bread, no, but Ezekiel bread's really good. It's like natural ingredients, and if I'm using an organic chunky peanut butter and honey, I'm like that's. Calories or sugars or whatever aside, like that actually is all like kind of natural-ish, So I feel,
Natural-ish.
Well, and I feel
No, you're right.
and I feel better about that.
No, there is a mindset, and and it is a legitimate nutritionist sort of take on things. If you're going to go with the natural sugar, go with the things, substitutes and chemicals as you start to add in that stuff.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to come up against problems. Eat as much. Take in as many calories as you can in every day, and make sure whatever you're eating is absolutely jammed with sugar.
And sprinkle
I think that's the
aspartame
best
all
way.
over it
And
as well.
aspartame,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Somebody just reminded me of something. You remember that time my mom made me make her a peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich?
Yeah.
And then
You
we found
actually-
out somebody had texted in just now and said that they did peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwiches, and I was like, I could barely make it for her. This is a woman I've known my entire life, and I never knew she liked peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwiches. And apparently, it's fairly common in the South. And
You were very honest. You said you close fist punched her.
I was close to it. I mean, like, how dare you? Ooh, it's gross.
To me, that has no word. There is no place for that in my life.
But some people see it as adding even more of a creamy texture to it, and that's what does it. But no, I can't see that.
No.
So we had the what started this off yesterday was the Peter Pan theme or the jingle.
Right.
And how did that go?
If you believe in peanut butter, clap your hands.
I don't remember that, but I do remember Choosy Mothers Choose Jif. What about Skippy? What was there?
Frigid mothers choose.
Frigid Mothers
what
Choose
is it?
Skippy. But we do know Annette Funicello
was
a longtime spokesperson. In fact, Steve, when they did
Back to the Beach,
she had like
jars of it.
peanut butter that was the size of like a keg of beer.
And the kids going, I hate this peanut butter.
So one of the Skippy slogans is "Spread on the smiles."
And
I don't remember
Skippy Yippy.
Oh,
Skippy Yippy.
2 in the pink, 1 in the peanut.
Oh, okay.
No.
One in the peanut. Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
Those things that caught on because honestly, one of the first jingles you were probably as a kid, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is sort of a de facto sandwich. So yeah, do you remember having I don't remember if I was actually that much of a snob when it came to peanut butter when I was a kid. I just got what I got. I think it was probably
we just always had Peter Pan.
Yeah.
So that was my peanut butter, and I didn't really turn my nose up to other peanut butters, if I recall.
I used to do at Whole Foods. I used to do the where you just grind up the peanuts, and that's what I would make Jace for lunch. And
I make it myself.
Listen, he had it for years, and he loved it. And then somebody gave him Skippy peanut butter, and he was like, "I don't want that other peanut butter. I want this."
You're tearing me apart.
We were a Jif household growing up, so that's why I got used to it. And that's why I wanted to rank it number 1. And turns out I like Peter Pan better.
Listen,
but
it takes a big man to admit that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm still going to keep buying Jif because I don't like change
because
that
choosy
much.
mothers choose Jif.
Right, but my dad would always make peanut butter and banana sandwiches, just like Elvis. So he would toast the bread, peanut butter
Those
on
are
top,
good.
and then
By the way, they're
sliced
good.
banana. Yeah.
Nick, have you had them?
Oh, that's what I was just saying. That growing up, that's my dad would
I
make.
thought he was making them just for him. Yeah,
No.
they're excellent sandwiches.
Yeah.
In fact, Elvis used to fly his personal Learjet, have somebody fly it to Las Vegas, because there was a chef there who made them exactly the way he loved them, because they would put bacon in them as well,
Right.
and then fly them back to Memphis.
Wait, hold on. This is probably going to be a whole other debate, but I would not eat a peanut butter banana sandwich. It has to be open face.
Wait, so you would eat those
But-
ingredients, but not as a sandwich?
Not as a sandwich. It has
Too
to be
much
an
bread.
Interesting.
open face. Yeah.
I would prefer that open face, and I also prefer it toasted too.
What kind of bread? Does
But
that
I wouldn't. I'd do white sandwich bread.
I go rye.
Oh, rye.
Right.
Tell me.
Oh, you're
That's the
throwing us
way
all
white
off.
supremacists eat it.
Step into my kitchen.
That's weird. It's
good.
Because rye has more of, I don't want to say like a savory flavor. Maybe it
Again,
does.
maybe
you know
it's
what
just
I mean?
what I grew up with, and that's why I loved it so much. But yeah, rye, toasted, peanut butter, Jif, and bananas.
I could do wheat or white.
Yeah, I just got a text from a guy who says that he would make peanut butter and fresh cherry sandwiches. So I guess he would take the cherries, pit it, soak it,
Soak it.
chop them
that's
up.
weird.
Well,
It's kind of jelly-ish, I guess,
but
right?
then I was thinking, so I might try that. But then I was thinking, like, well, why not just cut up some grapes and make a peanut butter and grape sandwich? Isn't that what grape jelly and or strawberry jelly?
No, I don't think that would
Stop
work
it.
out. Yes, it's crazy talk.
I don't know.
It's
I
more
was thinking, like,
No.
and now I'm starting to think
Try
of
it,
other
Casey.
fruits like
I will. I'll
apricots
try it.
and stuff like that might work.
Maybe that's where the cherries come. Well, no, because don't you? Yeah, I don't know.
Cherries come from God.
I was going to say like the flavoring of the jelly.
How do you make jelly?
You don't. You buy it in a store.
Do you know the difference?
There's no way to
jelly?
make it. You can only purchase
Hey,
it.
we could get Carter on because he made jellies and jams like crazy. There's a
That's right.
difference
Right.
between jelly and jam. It must be jelly because jam don't shake like that. Or you can jam your D down your
Right.
But you can't
right
jelly
on.
it.
All right.
Could you please
pass
jelly
the
your
jelly?
D down your girl's throat?
Okay.
That's an old joke. Anyway,
Bill told
Yes,
us.
that was
Bill was
loves
telling
it.
us that.
Yeah.
The dad joke.
Anyway,
That's a Bob Hope joke.
Inappropriate.
I want to
What-
tell you, you can jelly her.
Kathy, one of them is made from the actual fruit. Another is made from the juice of the fruit. So, and I think a jelly is made from the juice of the fruit.
Yeah, that
I'm
seems
not
right.
And
100%
then-
sure.
Juicy fruit is going to move you.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right through you.
With your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, when you do make them, and probably don't make a lot these days, but to me, the toasting of the bread is an essential. If you want the absolute experience, the way it should be, to let that peanut butter melt a bit. You were saying this as well, Preston. That is what makes it glorious.
Yes.
That's a transcendent sandwich.
By the way, here it is. Jam is made, a thick spread made from fruit juice, chopped, crushed, or pureed fruit and sugar. Pectin may also be help it gel, but jams are usually looser than jelly.
You mean like sluttier?
And jelly is made from fruit juice. Okay, there you go. As the juice of the fruit, and then sugar, and then pectin is that stuff that makes it gelatinous.
And what
so to speak.
are your guys' stances on squeezable jelly?
It's okay.
If the jelly's decent, it usually isn't though. It's usually
Yeah.
like low rent Welch's.
All right, so we've determined Kathy's the peanut butter queen.
Absolutely.
She knows her stuff,
But-
most definitely.
We were right on the best tasting.
Yeah, you
At
and
least
I.
for
Yeah.
our palates.
Yeah.
And some surprises along the way. Nick, what did you rank as the best tasting?
Peter Pan.
It's Peter Pan.
Yeah, and I
Okay,
thought it
so
was
a
gonna
little
be
surprise.
Jif's. Yeah,
How
so-
about that?
I know.
Eye-opening here on the Preston and Steve Show. Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture added the calorie pear, or Pyrus calorenia, commonly called the Bradford pear tree, to a list of noxious weeds, plants that cannot be legally sold or cultivated in the state.
Wow. So it adds the list that is populated by the durian and other.
Well, no, it's considered invasive. So, so this is these are the semen trees.
What?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So the popular non-native flowering fruit tree naturalizes, spreading from planted landscapes, crowding out other plants, and disrupting native ecosystems.
So the semen tree is considered an invasive species?
Check that, Nick. Double check and make sure the Bradford pear is the one we're talking about.
If you don't know, this is a plant, a tree, I guess,
It's a
that
tree, yeah.
every year emits a smell that many have said, and I agree, smells like semen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's them.
That's okay. So this is it. So it apparently it crowds out other plants, disrupts native ecosystems. The ban on sale and cultivation will take effect on February 9th, with enforcement phased in over 2 years.
I'm surprised because landscapers will sell a lot of these. They'll use them in office parks and people's backyards and whatever. So this is a moneymaker for a lot of those places. I'm really surprised they came down with a ban.
Well, it's a beautiful tree.
Yeah,
and when it does create that scent, it's got these beautiful white blooms. It's just gorgeous.
It looks gorgeous.
I have 3 of them in my backyard.
I have a weeping vagina in my backyard.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's, well, you know what it smells like, but it's just, it's beautiful.
Okay. Now you got me thinking of Pussy Willows. I wouldn't necessarily categorize this scent as noxious, though. I mean,
it is different.
If you are around a bunch of them, like I have been in proximity to several of them, and it's like overpowering. Now, not noxious to the scent of I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Right.
But definitely like, wow, this is overpowering. So, but it's apparently I guess it's taking up too much space. It's invading the area, and it's not native in the area. So, according to the agricultural secretary, the Callery pear is another non-native plant that was brought to the country for its beauty and rapid growth without regard to its long-term potential harm to our environment and food supply.
I didn't realize it was that sort of situation. Nick, as you rightfully point out, it ends up being used in garden plants.
Oh, yeah.
They're sold a lot.
And
another one that I've heard people complain about because of the smell is the ginkgo tree, and they're really pretty as well, especially in the fall. They turn like a bright yellow, but people sometimes refer to them as the stinko tree. And I believe like it's only the male of the species that stinks or whatever. But yeah.
We have a butthole bush by our front door. And the flowers are wonderful, but it does.
What does it smell like?
It smells like a butthole.
Is it year round or only in the spring?
No, it's like for 1 week.
Oh,
you
can deal with that.
Is your butthole open?
Don't come over. It's butthole week.
Is your butthole sprouting?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The butthole's open.
What's your
and the scent
You've got to come by.
You've got to come. It only happens 1 week out of the year when the butthole's
We'll sit between that and the semen plant.
All right, here you go. Here's some big news.
All right.
Kim Kardashian is making it clear, and I have a few Kim and Kanye stories here.
Oh, yeah.
Clear to Kanye, wants to set healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries.
So, in an interview with Hollywood Unlocked that will be released today, West claims that Kardashian's security team wouldn't let him into her house with their daughter North after he picked the kids up from school one day. Now, a source told People that while it's true that West was not allowed inside the house that day, Kim's security team didn't stop him from seeing the kids, picking them up, or dropping them off. The source continued saying he can no longer just walk inside her home without her permission, and Kim has a right to privacy and is trying to set healthy boundaries. So
she's a lawyer, you know.
Those who have gone through divorces, I assume, deal with this particular issue, which is somebody just walking right in.
That has to change.
You've been doing it for years and years and years. However, if you've been married for a long time, and then all of a sudden it stops there, and you have to ring the doorbell, you have to knock or something like that.
It might be uncomfortable, but that's part of the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
The nature of the relationship has changed, and though you would imagine Kanye would have an easy time adapting to change.
Right.
He's not, apparently.
Apparently, the need to set these boundaries arose from Kanye making, quote, recent unannounced visits to Kim's home. In the Hollywood Unlocked interview, West is quoted as saying... That's when he stops by? Yeah. Unannounced.
Yo.
Yeah. So West is quoted in the interview as saying, "Don't play with me. Don't play with my children. Ain't no security going to get in between me and my children, and you ain't going to gaslight me." End quote.
Okay. Hey,
don't play with my children. I thought you want people.
Yes, of course. So they grow up healthy.
Play. They like to play. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, he goes by Yee now. So wouldn't he announce himself Yee?
Yee.
Oh my God.
It echoes around that house because there's nothing in it.
There's nothing in it.
Yeah. There's nothing to deaden the sound. We have audio, Preston, if you'd like. He is.
All right, so this is about the song?
Yes.
So Kanye, this is part 2 of the story. Kanye called out Pete Davidson in his new song, The Game, which is called Easy. The track dropped on Friday, and people across all corners of the internet promptly went to work dissecting the lyrics from Kanye's verse.
So here's a question, and this to me is indicative of a kind of person. He is in a relationship with someone else himself.
Yeah.
He's making out publicly with this other person. Why? Why is he going off the deep end about Pete Davidson? She's simply moving on as well. He's moving on. Why is it so bad that she's moving on?
His ego won't allow it.
That has to be it.
Yeah, so there's nobody better than him, and his ego won't allow it. And
it's narcissism.
It's
pure
no
narcissism.
Doubt.
Yeah.
But did you see
that? Is she in their house?
Yes.
So that's probably where.
But they have a multitude of houses, Kathy.
Right.
He has that ranch, and he actually bought a house, I think, diagonally across the street from her to be close to the kids.
Now, is this
but that's
the song?
probably the hard part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was his house. That was where he lived too. So the fact now that he's got a knock on the door, which listen, yes, it needs to happen.
Yep.
They're not together anymore, but that's probably why he's having a hard time.
Steve, is this a song that they're listening to and like Madonna's in the thing? It's like there are all these people in a room and it's like him and Madonna and Antonio Brown. Like,
are you talking about video footage?
There's video footage of them all listening to a song. And what's wild is Madonna's like the grandmom, and she's acting like the kid in this movie or in this video.
That imagery is troubling. But he specifically mentions Pete Davidson.
Yeah, he mentioned a bunch of things. I'm going to go through some of the lyrics in this song. So he talks about his divorce from Kim, and I'm quoting this. We having the best divorce ever. If we go to court, we go to court together. Matter of fact, pick up your sis. We'll go to courts together.
Courtney.
You know what he did
Love
there?
it. I haven't heard lyrics this sharp since Poopity Scoop.
All right. Co-parenting his kids. He writes, I watched 4 kids for like 5 hours today. I wear these Yeezy boots everywhere, even in the shower today. He rhymed today with today.
Yeah.
And by the way, he did a little drop on his own product line.
Self-promotion. Love it.
I got love for the nannies, but real family is better. The cameras watch the kids. Y'all stop taking the credit. Non-custodial dad, I bought the house next door. What you think the point of really being rich for?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, it makes incredible sense. So he doesn't want to besmirch the nanny staff, which he had a relationship with them as well. But he's saying Kim's not being the mother she needs to be because she's with that Pete Davidson.
All right. Then you have grappling with his kid's privilege. And he writes, he spits, when you give them everything, they only want more. Bougie and unruly, y'all need to do some chores. Rich-ass kids, this ain't your mama house. Climb on your brother's shoulders, get that top ramen out.
Ooh. Okay.
So, all right, he had me at ramen.
He had me at ramen. God save me from that crash just so I can beat Pete Davidson's ass.
That's it.
And my new bitch bad, I know Illuminati mad.
Yeah, man.
How did he drag the Illuminati into it?
I don't know, but he's obviously a big fan of that point in history.
They mad, so he found out about it.
All right, we're looking at the video that Casey was talking about. Yeah, Madonna's over-emoting in this particular video. She's moving around a bit too much. She's making a spectacle of herself.
I'm 60 years old. I got to act like a...
Okay.
And what's the context of this
Well,
video?
she's made them snickerdoodles because she's grandma.
Oh, all right. That was nice of her.
Is anyone you want cookies?
I would.
Snoop, do you?
That's pretty much the only reason they invited her. Yeah.
They're piping hot and they're great with milk.
All right. Let her in.
All right, last bit
Yo,
of...
who let your grandma in?
Last bit of lyrics are his public romance with Julia Fox, and he wrote, Oh, no, that was it.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it. Talking about I know my new bitch bad.
New bitch bad.
I know Illuminati
So
mad.
beautiful.
So there you go.
My
That's
new bitch bad.
the latest on the tube.
It's definitely a study in narcissism because she has a relationship, he has a relationship, move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yee.
If you guys didn't know, Kathy had the Rona. She got past it, but there are some lingering effects.
Yes.
And a lot of people have dealt with this lack of taste thing.
Would it be safe to say that it licked her ass?
I think it licked her ass. Now, if you don't know about that, she had texted someone that it kicked her ass and accidentally typed in licked.
33 WMMR.
Real quick, a few texts coming in about us playing Grapevine there. And there's some, it says, a really good one. Somebody said, wow, this one is longer than all of the other CCR songs put together. Another one says, just wondering if Kathy ran to Target during this song.
Oh, man, I would have loved to.
Another one says, good morning, Ed. So it wasn't Inagata Davida. Color me surprised. Another one says, hope someone got a nice long poop in there. Another one, damn, I didn't realize that this song is the entire length of my drive to work.
That's wild.
Another says, I had time enough to eat breakfast and knit a sweater during that musical break. So, yeah, we get all, this is why this is so fun for us. Not that we spend less time talking. It's just we don't get to do that. We don't get to have these really cool, big, long songs from time to time.
In fact, we are usually looking for the shorter ones, and they're used primarily for bathroom runs.
Yeah, exactly. So back to school, A to Z on MMR. We're going to check in with Marisa in the 8 o'clock hour. But right now, another little personal declaration from one of our own show members, and he kind of tipped the hand not too long ago and then made it insta-official yesterday. If you do not know this, Nick McElwain is a married man.
Yay!
He is a married man. This happened a few weeks ago.
August 1st, and on the slopes of Mount Rainier in Washington State. And so, yeah, thanks. I referred to Andrea as my wife last week, and I kind of did it deliberately, and I just, we'd been married for a month, so I just didn't want to keep that not a secret anymore, sort of wanted to be true to her and be true to myself. And it's not like it was a secret. You guys knew. But we kind of like keeping some things relatively private and quiet for a bit before we let everybody know, and that's what we did yesterday.
Well, it's just you guys out there, and you need to come home and tell people. Well, but you had to come home and tell people before you post it and talk about it right on the radio.
Yeah, and it was just the two of us on the side of the mountain with our photographer. So we spent the whole day getting married. We got married with the photographer who also served as our officiant. Her name is Hannah Aspen. She was incredible. She was also sort of like our tour guide.
How'd you find her?
Andrea follows this site called Fox's Photography, and they do outdoor photography and including wedding photography. So she had been a fan of their work for a long time, and it just so happened that Hannah Aspen was available on August 1st on the day that we wanted to go out to the Pacific Northwest and go to this place that means a lot to us in Mount Rainier. And we got engaged like 2 years ago, something like that, and weren't ever in a rush to get married. We figured that we would do something that meant something to the both of us. And when we got inspired to go to a certain place, that it would hit us in a way that meant something to the both of us. And so Mount Rainier is just unbelievably beautiful to begin with. It's just it really is a magical spot. But I tried to summit it in 2016, and Andrea was not with me when we did that. And I didn't make it to the summit. I was really upset. I was kind of emotional about all of it. And she was also emotional about it. And she realized that she was falling in love with me when I was on Mount Rainier. So that place is magical and beautiful and a really cool setting for an elopement. Marisa and her husband, Matt, eloped in Vegas, a year and a half ago, something like that?
Yeah.
And I loved the fact that they did that. It was really cool for them. And we wanted to do something that was really cool for us. So that's why we picked Rainier.
Did you let anybody know? Like
our family knew.
Your family knew. Okay.
Yeah. My dad kept asking where he was supposed to meet us, and he didn't quite get the fact.
Just promise that Tony Danza's not going to be.
Yeah, right.
Like jokingly, or no? He really wanted.
I think he didn't quite understand that it was just going to be the two of us and Hannah. And Hannah served as the officiant and the photographer. But we'll have a party at another point. Probably some point next year, and we'll do that for friends and family. And I'd been married once before, and I had a great wedding, and it was a lot of fun with a lot of people. It was in Philadelphia. The reception was at the Franklin Institute, and it was a blast. I had a really great time. I wanted to do something different for the second time around, and Andrea did not want to have a big wedding. So for the two of us to just go to this place and not have a big wedding with everybody that we knew and all of our family, simplified stuff.
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of great. Like just doing it for the two of us to elope, to go to someplace that means a lot. For us anyway, it was really cool to just have it just be for the two of us.
Well, yeah, because as great and fun as a wedding, as your wedding can be, It's also a lot of work.
It's a lot of
even
work.
on that day when you're supposed to forget about it all and just be a part of the celebration.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
There's still stuff to do. You have to do a lot of handshaking and thank yous, and that's a wonderful thing. But it's also an obligation on a really busy, hectic day as it is. So I get it, man.
Yeah, and we paid for this on our own too. So we talked about the costs of wedding not that long ago on the show, and Kathy, you brought up somebody that you knew. I think where the couple were paying for it or whatever. Anyway, we wanted to spend the money just for ourselves, and and if and when we have a party, we'll invite a lot more people. But for us, we wanted to spend money on this trip and not spend it on a giant wedding reception.
You guys, for a second wedding, I mean, this is like to do something different. Now I know it's Andrea's first, but I feel like this is so her, and then this is your second, so it just seemed like the perfect scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I watched everything sort of happen in real time, except I didn't know that you were getting married. So you talk about spending money. You guys had like a really nice time. You know, like stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, had some really, really nice dinners and stuff like that. So this was, obviously you only get married on the one day, but like I feel like your wedding was like 2 weeks long.
It was a wedding trip.
It was a built-in honeymoon.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to speak for a lot of women out there. We all want to see a better picture of Andrea's veil.
Yeah, she got a lot of compliments on it. She spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the veil was going to be, and she found it. And Kathy, she's going to actually have it framed. Cole's framing and Conshohocken.
Yeah, they're going to frame it.
Butch is going to frame it for her. So
I want to see like the details of it. I want her to send me a picture of because it just looks gorgeous.
It was beautiful.
You guys have probably the best wedding pictures I've ever seen.
I've ever
seen. Yeah. It's just incredible.
It's gorgeous.
Well, we lucked out. It was an absolutely perfect day. It was an all-day thing, too. So we got up before sunrise. Andrea was up at like 2 in the morning. I was up at 3 in the morning.
Well, it was West Coast.
It's West Coast time, so it felt like 6.
Yeah.
But we stayed in this little town called Ashford, right outside Mount Rainier. We were up in Paradise, which is at about 5,000 feet. It's the village of Paradise, where there's a hotel there, and the Paradise Inn, and so we were there for sunrise. We did a sunrise photo shoot, and that's basically we stayed in and around the area where Paradise Inn is. And then later in the day, we did a sunset shoot, and that we hiked to. So that was at this place called Pinnacle Peak, and it's a pretty hefty hike. It is sizable. So I wore hiking clothes to get up to that. And Andrea wore hiking clothes as well. And then we changed at the top of Pinnacle Peak.
They don't have hiking gowns?
They do, actually, and that is an option. And Steve, I hiked down in my suit. By the way, kudos to Kathy Romano, because I asked her 3 or 4 months ago, where should I get a suit? And she recommended Suit Supply in King of Prussia Mall and had a fantastic experience. So thanks, Kathy, because that was what the suit was for.
Now I know what the suit was for.
You see, you were duped in the best of ways.
So a bit of a personal question, and I'm honestly curious. This is all outdoorsy and everything. Did you find a way to consummate the marriage outside
on the mountain?
On the mountain?
No.
Damn
it.
Did you think about it?
Dude, I was so hot and sweaty and gross.
Oh, no. Who the hell wants to
Yeah.
At the end of like...
I didn't think of that.
Dude, I
was so comfortable.
I wonder statistically how many people actually consummate their marriage on the wedding night because it's so
I was too drunk.
energy sucking.
Oh, I was too hammered.
I was I hiked down in my suit because I was so tired. By like 3 hours up and maybe an hour and a half down. So it was Pinnacle Peak is on the opposite side of the valley from Mount Rainier. So you'll see Mount Rainier in the background. And I posted all the pictures up on Instagram. Thanks again to Hannah Aspen and to Fox's Photography. But it was a hefty hike to get up there. And
what did you do with the suit? Did you have it in a suit bag?
I had it in a suit bag on the way up in my backpack and my shoes and
you should have had an eagle fly it up.
My boutonniere. The Eagles were expensive, Steve. Yeah, they were hard to rent.
Listen, I don't go up there for less than $2,000.
Yeah. But we wore it during the morning. She wore her wedding dress, and I wore my suit, for the sunrise pictures.
What time of the day did you actually get married?
Right at sunset. So we exchanged vows. Wow. And Steve, you'll be proud to know that Hannah is a officiant in the Universal Life Church.
Oh, she's a sister.
She's a sister. So she conducted our wedding, and so we are officially married in the state of Washington. We had to come back to PA to get it officially married here. But yeah, that was
our Modesto is our Vatican.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah,
Modesto, California. Right. So yeah, Casey was probably like 7:30, 7:45, something along those lines when we actually got married. Yeah.
All right,
that's
so
great.
You came back here and had had to make it more legal?
You have to get actual certificate from we live in Delaware County, so from the media courthouse. And
hang on 1 second.
Go right ahead. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, so you have to be married in the state you live in?
Yeah, essentially the one in Washington in Mount Rainier was ceremonial.
Okay.
You know, so like to actually get officially married in the state of PA for insurance and whatever the hell else you got to do it.
If you got married in Washington, D.C., would that count as Washington State as well? Or is there some sort of agreement?
It's a district.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. You know, so we did sort of the similar thing. We got married in the court.
Yes.
In Babylon, Long Island, before we went down to have the ceremony and get married in Puerto Rico. As you well know, I'm Puerto Rican. And that's the way we did it. You avoid a lot of legal stuff.
So you got these amazing pictures on your wedding day in Washington, but in your wedding day in Delco, did you get pictures taken in front of a Wawa trash can?
Here's what I took up menthols.
Okay, yeah.
And so we each
Newports or Cools.
We shared a cigarette to celebrate at the original Wawa in Delco. Yeah. But Steve, you know, you talked about your wedding to Puerto Rico and whatever floats your boat. Whatever you want to do to get married, go for it. And if you have the means and want to have a big party, go ahead and do that. I cannot recommend more highly eloping. It was so much fun to just not have to worry about anybody else, to not have to deal with, the table seating.
Yeah,
Marisa
my brother did it too.
Yeah.
But wait, hold on. Is yours really considered eloping? Because people knew you were just saying, "Hey, it is still considered."
Yeah. Not you.
I
Yes.
thought eloping was like
No one
You
knows.
didn't tell
except
anybody.
you guys run off. Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
like you can have a wedding and just do it yourself. That's not considered eloping, but I guess because
but when you slip away and
Right.
and tell no
yeah.
one. That's,
Yeah. I mean,
it's a couple of versions of that, I guess.
We quite literally, like Kathy, bought the elopement package for the
that's what it was
photographer.
called?
Yeah, so and they specialize in elopement weddings.
that's
so
funny.
yeah, there were people that were also getting married on Mount Rainier. We saw other people in wedding outfits. We were going up and down the mountain.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
It was a popular spot. Is a popular spot to get married.
My younger brother he eloped. He and his wife eloped in Vegas. And I was really, really happy for him, but I was like, dude, you robbed me of a weekend in Vegas, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I would have gone. I wouldn't have said anything to anybody, you know?
It's funny, Casey, because some people take it a little personally, like that they weren't invited or that they weren't a part of it or whatever.
I will high five you if you don't invite me.
No, Case, I know what you mean. You robbed us as a bachelorette party.
Right? Like, dude,
What
we could
is
have
wrong
had
with
so much fun.
Nick, on behalf of me and my family, thank you for not.
I mean, honestly,
We were honored to not be a part of it.
yes. The older you get, right? Like, and here's how I feel about it, Preston. Anytime you actually end up going to a wedding, you almost inevitably have a great time. It's enjoying, but like it's the beforehand. You're like, oh crap, then my weekend's shot. I got to get a hotel. I don't fit in my suit as well as I used to.
Let me ask you guys, percentage-wise, wedding and reception, percentage-wise, how many times do you go to actually both? Because I usually am just a reception guy these days.
No, it's been 100% most of the time that and it's not my choice.
Your
that
wife.
we go to both of them, but I generally only go to weddings of people that I know fairly well.
Right.
There's not been a lot of, Rochelle and I don't have our extended family
Let's
here.
invite Preston and Michelle.
So we don't end up getting roped into a lot. And if we're going to go to a destination wedding, it's because we are really good friends with those people, so we end up doing the whole thing.
There's a thing you can do, and it's a little shifty, but it does work. So what you do is you find out where the reception, obviously you get the whole thing.
Yeah.
At the end of the evening, you wait outside with your valet ticket.
Yes.
You I was in there.
The whole time.
You didn't see me? What table were you at?
Oh, my God. You didn't see me doing the electric slide?
So, you show up literally at the ass end of it, and you get the cred.
I was going to say, God, I have a great story. I tried to valet at a wedding, and I told them that I was a guest, and they were like, no, you're not. Like, basically looked at me like, no, you're not. And I looked in, and it was like the majority of the people were black, and they were like, you weren't invited to this wedding. We know you are.
Like, oh, man.
Yes, the invite, like, it has to be a person that you are that I'm really close to be invited to a wedding, and that I'm gonna go. However, if you're having a destination wedding, I don't care who you are, you can invite me.
You can invite you. Yep.
I'll go.
So would you have come to this one and hiked up with us, Kath?
Ooh, yeah.
No, you would not.
Yes, what?
You would have hiked up.
I wouldn't have slept there.
Yeah.
I would have hiked, but I would have not slept there. I would have gone back to the Ritz and shared a room with Nick. And
Oh my God! Kathy walks
Andrew.
into the hotel lobby with sticks in her hair. And, what the hell was that?
Nick,
A badger attacked me.
did you guys write your own vows, I assume?
We did, yeah.
Okay.
And Andrea is an artist, if you didn't know that. And so we had wedding vow books, and Andrea painted the cover of the books, which is really cool. So I wrote them in there. I hadn't finished writing them in handwriting, and my writing is not great. My handwriting isn't great, so I ended up using my phone to read the vows at some point.
I will always flurb you.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Steve, I had to put my glasses on. I'm like, all right, I'm going to figure this one out. But yeah, we
Read my
exchanged.
own writing.
I know. Yeah, it's on the phone. You can actually,
Dear
type it out.
Arnold. Is that Arnold? That's Andrea. I'm sorry.
Have you now? Usually, obviously, you're making these vows to each other, but a lot of times it's for other people to hear as well. Did you share those vows with any of your family?
Not yet. No,
Okay.
we might at some point. I mean,
You
it's
don't have to. It's
Yeah.
totally personal if you want.
Do you know what we did, Nick, is when we went and we just had, again, a handful of people who invited them to Puerto Rico if they wanted to come for this very small thing. Then when we got back, we threw a party, much more casual, at a place. I put on the tux so people could, and Claire put on her gown so you could see it.
Yeah.
Not that if you've never seen one, this is what a tuxedo looks like. And everyone loved that. It was really just a party.
Yeah, I mean, whatever floats your boat, whatever you want to do for you and your family, and most importantly, Steve, for like you and your wife, like that's what I think rings true. And when you start doing parties or planning parties with other people's wants in mind, that's where it kind of gets a little wonky.
Here's a weird little question. I wonder if people ever have a full wedding ceremony, because part of the pain in the ass, I think, going to a wedding is getting all stuffily dressed up.
Yeah.
Nobody feels comfortable in those outfits. But I wonder if anybody ever has a full church wedding where the attire is up to you. If
Casual
you want to
Friday.
Dress, if you want to dress casual Friday for the actual ceremony
Why
itself.
is everyone wearing Hawaiian shirts?
Yeah, I've never really heard of that before.
They should.
I've been to relaxed.
Yeah.
I've been to a relaxed wedding here or there that was simply just like smart casual or a little bit, but you didn't have to get all as they say the monkey suit.
Gussied up.
That's why I've said it on the show, and I'll say it again. Like, that's how my funeral is going to be. I swear to God, if anybody has a collar on at my funeral, you're not allowed in.
We come in sweats.
Yeah, sweatshirts or sweatpants, shorts.
Adidas pants.
It just depends on what, if I die in the summer, you can wear shorts.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a first for me. Coming up on the 13th of October.
September. Oh,
no,
October.
October, because it's Friday the 13th. And I've talked to a couple other people that are going to ones as well because it falls on that day. We're going to a goth wedding.
Whoa.
On the 13th?
On Friday the 13th.
The Friday the 13th is this month.
Is it this month?
It's a week from
September.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because
so I guess
that's
it's
Get your outfit ready.
But I have it ready.
Oh.
I have it ready. I'm black on black, the whole thing, full monochromatic.
Nice.
And so I was talking to another friend of mine, and they're like, yeah, we're going to one too. I was like, I didn't put together that it was Friday the 13th.
That's
and if
funny.
there are goths that want to get married, that's the day they want to do
You're
it on.
gonna do-
And
It's
so
my
we all are required to wear all black to this wedding. If you don't have all black to wear, they're going to give you a cloak.
Oh, I love
When you walk in,
black
that's great.
cloak to wear
That's awesome.
at this wedding.
It's my understanding that booking venues that they are really cheap on Friday the 13th because of the bad luck.
I believe that.
Yeah.
But other people want to pounce on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And have that happen. But so it was so funny. I'd forgotten about that. That my other friend was like, yeah, we're going to one too. I'm like, really?
Are you going to wear eye makeup? Like, I
probably should.
I think you should.
A little eyeliner.
You got to
a
wear a
little
hockey
bit.
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah. I'll dress as Hela from Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
That's perfect.
That's badass.
Yeah.
So for our wedding, I didn't wear a tie, Preston. It was really nice not to have to put a damn tie on, like
Sure.
just an open collar. And yeah, it just.
You look like Gino Vanelli.
Suits are uncomfortable. They just
They
are.
are.
And
They're
like
getting
I
better.
agree.
They're getting better.
I know, but as opposed to North Face hiking gear, I would rather wear that than a suit.
Nick, I've watched this thing. They targeted me because they know it is a suit that is like, apparently it is the most comfortable, breathable suit in the world. And the commercial, and the guy's like, basically like is doing work around the house in a suit to prove.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder,
I did to get.
because it looks like a regular suit.
I got fitted for the first time. I'd never been fitted for a suit before, and Kathy, again, the suit supply place in King of Prussia, the guy named Ryan. It felt like really cool to I'd never experienced like that. And
they do cup your nuts.
They do cup your nuts. Yeah. It's like Joey's Taylor and Friends, and then they move it to the other side, and then they go down the other pant leg.
No, did you have it custom made, or did you buy a suit there and then they fitted it?
I had it custom made, so like every measurement was for me, and
it's kind of cool, isn't it?
It felt really cool. Yeah, I felt like a big boy.
And I don't know what the dudes are, the way they train them at these places, but when you talked about a person going in and buying a suit, and they're like, oh, I guess I am a. Look at me, I'm a suit guy.
Yeah. Oh, man, they make you feel good.
Yeah.
They do. When you go to buy a suit.
You look good in this, sir.
Oh, and you do. You start like, man, I look sharp. Look at this. Not
That's
thinking
me.
about how uncomfortable it feels when you're, especially sitting in a pew or something like that, or
hiking
trying
on a
to
mountain.
dance or hiking a mountain or whatever it is. But no, they do look pretty sharp. So. Well, that's cool, though, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we thought we would, go ahead and open this up. Nick and Andrea let it breathe a little bit. But now the cat's out of the bag. But if you want to see your fantasy wedding photos, take a look at Nick's Instagram account, Nick McElwain1.
That's amazing.
And they're like you were saying, Kathy, they're the best wedding photos I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Compliments to Mount Rainier, right?
Yeah. Well, good job, God.
And to
Well, she's a
compliment
great photographer, too.
Yeah, to Hannah Aspen and to God and Mother Nature. And we got married got some photos on the John Muir steps, which also means a lot to us. So that was cool.
I am having a wedding reception for Nick and Andrea tonight. I'll be at PJ Wellingham's 5 to 7.
In Wynwood?
In Wynwood. I don't think they're going to be there, but if you want to come and celebrate Nick and Andrea at Philly Sports Trips.
Reception elope. You're the equivalent of a
Are you going to give away any prizes at this?
I'm going to give away prizes. People can register to win.
Wedding gifts?
Possibly.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Nick's probably the biggest baseball fan here, and biggest Phillies fan in the room. So it's a chance for you to join us for the spring training event.
Wait, which one is it, Case?
It's Wynwood. Not too far from his
Screw it,
age.
I'm coming.
All right.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We're going to celebrate.
All right, so that's tonight from 5 to 7. All right, we do need to take a break because we've got more of the Back to School A to Z. We are in the I version of that, and we got some guests and so on to get to in Bizarre File coming up next. But we're going to play, we played the Creedence, I Heard It Through the Grapevine. We're doing Marvin Gaye's version next. Can't wait to hear it. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on.
And this wasn't a close personal friend either. It was more of a casual relationship. And
I love it.
Took it to another level. But so your sense of taste, at what point? Because listen, when you get a cold, when you get the flu, it's standard that happens, but it doesn't linger afterwards. So did this happen at the onset of symptoms, or did this happen later on?
No, so I was like a few days into having COVID, and I had congestion too. So, sometimes, like you said, like if you have congestion, you have a cold or whatever, like, taste won't be there. So that's what I kept telling myself. I was like, no, I think it's that, because there was like a little bit still there. So I'm like, maybe it's just the congestion, like normal, and I'm not really losing my taste. No. And then flash forward, now we're a few weeks in, and my taste is, I would say my taste is like 0 to 10%. I don't know. Maybe today I'll see. Yeah. I thought maybe at one point it was coming back. I had yellow mustard. I told you guys this, but I don't know if it was like whatever. I don't know. Whatever.
You don't know if it was like the spices in the mustard,
right,
that,
exactly.
as opposed to its actual flavor.
Yeah.
It's like it's nothing you would be able to compare it to in life. I mean, it's such a unique thing to have happen.
Yeah.
And so for the most part, people have what they call the long Rona. Still, even they eventually get their taste back, but it can be a while.
God,
I've seen stories of people that have gone like a year without having taste. My grandmother, this was a long time ago, went years a loss of taste.
Is that right? What caused
then
it?
It just came back.
Right.
I don't know. We never found out.
And now she's a food critic.
No, she's dead.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, she couldn't taste anything. And then it just came back around one day.
what's weird here, and not to like sound too alarming here, but there is something cerebral going on there, which is like a little bit scary, don't you think?
So I heard a doctor talk about it and why, and it all stems from the nose and like the blood vessels that are in the nose.
The nose.
And again, I just watched like a quick video, so hopefully that's accurate. But that's what he was saying, and like my sense of smell, I think I have a little bit of it. Like I would say maybe like 25%. Like if I stick my nose in something, I might be able to identify.
Well, they go hand in hand. Yeah. I mean, so your olfactory senses inform your taste to some degree.
Ooh.
I don't know what the percentage is.
Hey, if you were going to lick someone's ass, now is the time to do it.
No,
This is the time to do it.
We can give away mixed martial arts tickets.
Yeah. All right, so what we've decided to do, and actually it was Kathy's idea, we're going to do a taste test this morning of some various things and see if she can identify. Now, they have various consistencies to them, so that might be a clue into what you might be tasting. Right. But nonetheless, we want to see if you can identify. And some of these things are very strong flavors. You know, we're not throwing anything.
All right.
You're not going to taste anything effed up.
Yeah, like toilet water.
Yeah, we're not doing
that. You wouldn't know what that
legit.
Tastes like anyway.
It's all edible, and you'll be fine.
Is there a
foot
chance?
shavings?
Yeah,
Not
foot
none of
shavings.
that.
No, is there a chance that this might, because of the wide variety to her palate, is it possible this might kickstart your taste back up? Possibly.
Listen, I also read a lot about that. People trying to do that using like pepper, and there was another thing where if you like burn an orange peel. Yeah,
Carter told me about it yesterday. He's like, "Ooh, there's this thing," and I saw it, and I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "He goes, hang on." He looks at me, and he goes, "Oh, it's not real. Never mind."
It's not real.
Yeah,
like people were trying it, but there's no scientific evidence that it works.
All right,
hang on. Let me go to Steve real quick. Steve lost his taste. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right, buddy. So, did you have Corona?
Yes, last year.
Okay, and how long has it been since you've been able to taste anything?
Over 400 days.
400 days.
Now, Steve, let me ask you a question, because you're not necessarily eating for taste anymore. Have you lost?
I am anger eating.
Anger eating.
All right, so have you lost any weight as a result, or nothing's changed?
You know what? Everybody says, "Oh, you must have lost so much weight." I lost some in the beginning. In the beginning, I lost a lot. But I have, as time goes on, I'm just anger eating. I'll buy Reese's Cups, and I'll be like, damn it, I'm going to taste these Reese's Cups. And I don't.
Steve, do you feel, and you're like constantly searching for it, right? Like you constantly, you're like, okay, let me try this. Maybe there'll be a little bit there.
Yeah, and the only thing is I have had twinges of, like, if somebody has like a lemon cookie or a lemon cupcake, I might get like the taste of lemon with the first bite, and then it's gone. Like there's just nothing.
Steve, so this would not affect though your hunger, right? Hunger is.
Oh no, of course not.
Yeah,
of course not.
Yeah,
that's the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You still have to eat. You just have no joy in any of it. I always say it's like Captain Barbossa in Pirates of the Caribbean. They just want to watch Keira Knightley eat because they have no joy.
Right. They can't experience. Well, look. I mean, statistically, it you should get a return, but there's no guarantee it's going to be anytime soon. But man, my heart goes out to you.
I've tried the other things. Like my wife has been getting me to try this smell therapy where you smell coffee grinds, you smell oranges, you smell.
But they say that takes like years to actually kick in and work, because it's supposed to be like based on your memory.
Yeah, it's really weird. And then I eat things because I like pizza. I know what pizza tastes like,
right?
So I eat it. But like now I'm more concerned with like texture. So I'll eat things that like I always want nachos because nachos have crunch, they have sauce, they have But December 9th, 2020 was my my last day.
All right,
Steve,
man.
were you vaccinated?
Yeah, and boosted.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was all after.
I know there's connections to any of this stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel for you. Hang in there. Hopefully it'll come back around.
Preston, what about you,
man? If I lost my sense of taste,
forget it.
I would be so upset.
It's so weird.
I find so much joy in eating.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess Wouldn't you switch to a healthier eating habit if you don't
I'm
care?
pretty healthy. You're pretty healthy too.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going crazy.
Right. But like,
so
why
I
eat
eat
ice
very
cream?
healthy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The little,
Because of the texture.
little treats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's the texture. Like Steve said,
But if-
you're constantly searching for something. So, like, yeah, you could sit there and eat healthy, but it's like you like. So for me, melted cheese, that texture.
Does that give you pleasure?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Right
like,
now,
It's like-
because I can't taste anything.
Can't
Like
you-
zero sugar ice cream. And
Yeah,
stuff like
can't you
that,
find
know?
something that like is
Will approximate it?
that
the
approximates the texture and that is not
Putty?
loaded
Yeah, you
with.
could. Case, you could.
Yeah.
All
Those
right.
are great putty.
Amy said she did the orange chicken at work.
All right.
Oh, well, if this is the case, then
Let's
we
hear
need to
it.
do this after the contest.
All right, we'll try.
Get an orange.
I would love to go to these calls, but listen, I want to go through this and see if she can identify these things or not. So let's give this a try. We're going to be drinking things, by the way. We're not going to be eating.
Oh my God, she's lost her sense of balance.
She can't stand up. You okay?
Tripped over her
I
own headphones.
I had to move, and I tripped over my headphones.
Okay.
Oh, the headphones.
So we have all grabbed some things from our cabinets and refrigerators and brought them in. And, oh, yeah, I have the sheet here. Don't look over here.
Yeah, don't look.
She's not wearing her glasses.
No, she's getting blindfolded. She's blind and no taste.
And, Marissa, are we putting the mask on her or no?
We're putting the because
it covers up her nose.
Exactly.
So we have a
But
full.
I do want to try to smell it afterwards if I
mask.
can't taste it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll figure this out.
This is a legitimate. Should we be wearing goggles and lab coats?
So here's what we'll do. Marissa has put all these in numbered cups, little shot glasses, and Kathy's going to sip it, and we'll just have her guess. And I've got the list here, and then I'll reveal what it is, and we'll see if she gets anywhere near it.
Okay.
Password is.
Yeah.
So do you want me to put these goggles on?
Do you want to eliminate the smell as well fully?
I mean, listen, I can sip it. If you hand
Okay.
me, I can sip it without smelling, and
All right.
because I want to see if my sense of smell is there or not afterwards.
All right, let's leave him off as long as it doesn't tip you off. So, Marissa, give her number one. We'll start with us. We can go in order. This is a good
Marissa, I don't know where you are.
order that we have, and she'll
Okay.
she'll put it in your hand. Okay,
man, I can smell it.
Do you know where your mouth is?
Shut up. All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah, take a sip.
Don't smell.
And see
I'm
what
not
you
going to
think.
smell.
You can shoot the whole thing.
Don't smell.
Probably don't drink the whole thing. You need to save some room. Okay, so you getting any sensation?
Something. It's like, yeah, it's not water.
Okay, not water.
It's I want to say like a I want to say sauce, but it's not that thick, so
Okay.
it's not a sauce. But that's what I'm getting. Like I would something like a pasta sauce or something.
Pasta sauce. So she's guessing pasta sauce.
Okay. And what is it, Preston?
It's a sauce.
Wait. Let me smell it. Hold on.
Okay.
She just spilled it on her sweater. She just spilled it on the carpet.
Mackerel farts.
You picked the wrong one to spill, too.
Yeah, you did. That's going to stain.
All right, get her sweater quickly. Kathy, take your top off quickly.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. You're legitimately handicapped.
I have to touch the boob.
Marissa, let me clean her.
By the way, go on YouTube now if you ever wanted to see Marissa feel up Kathy.
Oh, my God, dude. Now go a little slowly.
I almost have it out. There we go.
Oh, my God.
Preston, can you smell it on that side of the console?
No, not from where I'm sitting now.
Because I absolutely can, and the smell is very distinct.
Can I guess now? 'Cause
Yeah,
I
what
can
is it?
smell Is it hot sauce?
No, it is
No.
not. Kathy, that is soy sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's way off. Not
Yeah.
even clear.
And by the way, she took a sip. Like most people would go, "Whoa!"
Yeah, it's soy sauce is very strong. It's very, very salty.
All right, wait.
And you could only handle a little bit of that straight, but she shot quite a bit of it. Yes.
All right, I can't see, so I don't want to spill it again. Marissa, where's my water? A little bit. All right, here we go.
Oh my God!
I need a sip of water.
Helen Keller had it
Okay.
together.
Let's go with number two. Don't spill this one either.
You can do it.
The microphone is right in front of you, so don't hit it. All right.
Don't tip it or tilt it.
Take a sip of this and see what you think. All right. So, by the way, Kathy's lost her sense of taste. Let's see. We're testing this out on her, and if you're just tuning in, that's what we're doing.
All right.
A little thicker, isn't it?
Thicker and sweet.
Okay.
Oh, so sweet you could determine.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I honestly don't know what it is. I know it's sweet, and by the texture, I'm gonna say maybe like you put it. What the hell is it called? The chocolate that you put on ice cream, like a
Hershey's, like a chocolate syrup.
Yeah, like a chocolate syrup.
She got it right. Kathy Lucky you that one of the things you can taste is chocolate syrup.
Honestly, if you're going to lose anything, and keep one thing, keep your ability to taste chocolate.
Did the texture help with that?
Yeah, I think. Well, that's why I think I was able to get
it. But you definitely picked up on sweet, and you know why you probably could, because you just had really, really salty before that.
Right before it.
Okay, let's go with number 3 and try this one out. A shot of this one. Yep.
Jinx.
All right. We'll sip of this one. Oh, wow.
I like this one.
Strong reaction from this.
Oh, what the hell is that?
Wow, so a big reaction.
Like it definitely triggered something.
Like prom night?
No, like some sort of taste buds in my mouth, but I have no idea.
Just describe, so sweet, savory, what is the reaction?
No, like vinegar maybe?
She's right. Yeah.
But here's the thing,
it doesn't taste like vinegar?
No, it's the guess is the way it made me feel.
You probably got a little tangy, sensation like you would on your tongue, like mouth watering a little bit from.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing: I'm smelling it, and I can't smell it either.
It was white wine vinegar.
But I could. Where's that? Is the hot sauce still? The FUD, the
chocolate
sauce.
The FUD.
What about I think she was going to say fudge.
Like
FUD.
So that I can smell. I can smell the hot sauce, but I can't smell that vinegar.
It's not hot sauce. It's chocolate sauce.
Sorry, chocolate sauce.
That's what you would put on a chocolate FUD sundae.
Let's do the next one. We got to move through these. All right. So number 4, Marissa, if you would please. So she's gotten 2 out of 3 so far.
That's not bad.
But it was kind of guessing. And not going, yeah, that is this.
You're right. It's a combination of cues that are helping her get to the answer.
All right, Kathy. This is another one.
All right.
This one's kind of thick too.
Pondering.
I don't want any more of it, whatever it is.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Does it?
Yeah.
I think so.
You know.
Okay, I have no idea what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever watch Dr. Pimple Popper? No.
Oh my God! Stop it, Steve! Don't do that to me. Can I smell it?
Yeah.
Try it that
Yeah.
way?
Okay. So you don't have a guess.
Oh no!
But smelling it?
No smell.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. It's ranch dressing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Hidden Valley ranch dressing. The goat of ranch dressing.
Yeah.
And by the way, you guys know my sense of smell and taste. Like
incredibly acute.
Normally, I would have been. I could do this in 2 seconds. All of it.
You were able to discern between water.
Yeah.
Types of
different
water.
Seriously.
All right. Next sample. This is number 5. Go ahead whenever you're ready. And this one you should. This is very identifiable.
Okay. There's a little sweetness to this again.
Okay.
Maybe like I want to say a juice.
A juice.
Like apple.
3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Be sure to join us at Clearwater Beach next March for the spring training trip of a lifetime. Go to phillysportstrips.com and place a small deposit to reserve your spot. And we're going to have a blast again. All right, we'll start with this unbelievable story, but an Austrian neurosurgeon is currently under investigation for allegedly allowing her 13-year-old daughter to drill a hole in a patient's skull during a brain operation.
You did it!
I guess it was Take Your Child to Work Day in Austria. In January of this year,
That's my little girl.
33-year-old man had to be flown to the University Hospital Graz following a serious accident in a forest that left him with head trauma. The female neurosurgeon on call, whose name has not been made public to protect her privacy, allegedly allowed her 13-year-old daughter to not only sit in on the procedure, but actually drill a hole into the unconscious patient's skull. Luckily, the operation was a success, and the injured man was able to go back to leading a normal life. No one outside the operating room knew about the young girl's active role in the procedure, but the cat was let out of the bag in July when an anonymous complaint was lodged with the public prosecutor's office about the minor's involvement.
Preston, it was adorable. She had to actually stand on a phone book.
Aw.
Yeah.
Although the investigation into this case is currently ongoing, the Graz Hospital confirmed that the surgeon who performed the operation and the senior surgeon who assisted her have both been temporarily suspended. The 2 doctors are suspected of causing serious bodily harm, while the 5-strong hospital staff that was with them during the procedure are being investigated for failure to prevent an act that is punishable by law. Meanwhile, the patient is preparing to sue the hospital, claiming that he had no idea about the minor girl's involvement in the operation until recently he heard about it in the press.
I wonder what he would have said if he had been asked ahead of time, do you mind if my daughter takes care of part of this?
He was shocked at how much the incident sounded like his own, but back in July, police informed him that he was indeed the victim, so there is a lawsuit.
Listen, can you help us out? We're trying to get the girl interested in medicine. You could really help us.
Wow. A man was arrested early Tuesday morning after he allegedly set fire to his girlfriend's parents' house. Officers had responded to the home shortly before 3 a.m.
This is endless love.
After a resident called 911 to say the family wanted Leonard Jones IV to leave after he had an argument with his girlfriend. And as police were on their way, a second 911 call reported that the house was on fire. And when the first officer arrived, police could see flames coming from the home's roof. 3 people in the home.
So the roof was on fire.
Yeah, they didn't need any water. They just let the mother effer burn, to be honest. 3 people in the home, in addition to Jones, made it out safely. Police investigated the fire, which resulted in the arrest of Jones on the scene. He was charged with aggravated arson and domestic violence.
He explained his relationship with the girlfriend, saying there's only her in his life. She's every breath he takes.
The great blue heron bird may be the answer to New York City's infamous growing rat problem, taking out one rodent by feasting on it whole in Central Park. There is a video of this.
This footage is so disturbing.
And it's gone viral online, with users on Reddit just about losing it over the graphic demonstration of predator versus prey. According to the original poster, the incident took place on Saturday as they did a bit of yoga in the park with a friend and found themselves watching a scene they described as dinosaurian. Yeah, Nick's watching it right now.
It's unbelievable.
Oh my God. The rat is huge, by the way.
Kathy, look at this.
The bird brings the mortally wounded rat into its beak and proceeds to swallow the creature in a series of gulps, with the outline of the rodent showing in the bird's throat.
Oh, my God.
So you know that there's a living creature in this thing's throat.
Oh,
Yep.
my God.
It's similar to a snake devouring its kill. Great blue herons. The original poster quipped, the battle did not go well for the rat, and the process was not a sight for the faint of heart. Great blue herons are pretty common in New York. Though the heron normally prefers to go after fish, the species will often also hunt a variety of smaller prey, including reptiles, small mammals, and even smaller birds.
I mean, Jesus
Holy
Christ.
hell.
This thing's huge.
How effing brutal is nature?
Yeah, yep.
How does it not choke?
Kill or be killed. Yep. Here's another story out of New York City, and this is different and even more disturbing. Nearly 150 more male patients are suing convicted sadistic former top city urologist Darius Paduk, making the case the largest involving male victims. Now a total of 310 and by a single abuser. So the doctor's depravity knows bounds. According to disturbing accounts shared in Manhattan Supreme Court filings on Tuesday, the victims ranged in age from retirees to several minors. He would inject a serum into some victims' penises to force erections for long periods, perform penile enlargements that led to disfigurement, conduct cystoscopies with a tube into the urethra.
Oh, my God.
Without anesthesia, and force some patients to get on all fours for humiliating as supposed exams.
This is the Dr. Mengele of penises.
During some of the sessions, Paduk walked around with a pen and would point to parts of a patient's nude body as if he were acting as a professor.
That's your nutsack.
Arrested in April of last year and criminally convicted on counts of sexual abuse in federal court.
Jeez.
Now faces up to 60 years in prison.
That's your nutsack.
He worked as a urologist for years, and this was at the Weill Cornell Medical Center, New York Presbyterian Hospital, Columbia University, and Northwell Health Systems. At some points, the abuse took place in front of nurses, assistants, and even other physicians. His attacks under the guise of necessary medical care included instructing patients to pleasure themselves in front of him, or he would do it himself, often while playing pornography, and he would sometimes measure his patients' units and use phallic-shaped sex toys on them.
So he would command them to pleasure themselves, and if they didn't, he would pleasure them, or he would pleasure himself in front of them?
He would pleasure them.
Okay, well, I could see that.
He would do it for them. Here, let me get that for you.
Yeah.
Wow. All right,
I like you, Doc. I like you a lot.
We're not going to end on that. We're
No.
going to end
Back to the Heron.
on this one. No. Friday night's Delta Flight 112 Boston to Rome appears to have turned back over the Atlantic 2 hours after the departure, diverting to New York when a passenger reportedly had severe bouts of diarrhea all over their seat.
Oh.
The incident on board the Airbus A330 was deemed a medical issue. Biohazards have been a common theme recently, given Delta getting passengers sick from moldy chicken and several diarrhea flights. We have audio of the pilot. Here we go.
It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta.
All right, all the way through the airplane.
Could you imagine? Wouldn't you do everything to get to that door and open it up mid-flight?
I mean, yeah, yes.
But imagine this. Imagine you're the one who has the diarrhea problem.
I did. Flying back. Now, I made it to the bathroom every time. But dear God, it was horrifying.
Yeah, I don't understand how you don't make it to the bathroom.
Sometimes the human body will not let you do it.
That's why it's so amazing.
It's rare occasions, Kathy, but I told you guys how I did it on a skating rink. I filled my pants.
You told us.
And you were like a spirograph.
No, I was not. It was contained in my underwear, thank God.
Oh, my God.
But listen, it happens, man. And I feel horrible for the person that had to go through that.
No, listen, we're at our lowest.
Yep, most definitely. All right, and there you go. That is what we have in the Bizarre File for you this morning. So we will take a break. We are checking in with Marisa when we return. She is in Rio and has only 1 day left for it. She heads to Sao Paulo.
Big games tomorrow.
In Brazil. So we're going to check in with her. We are in the I portion of the Back to School A to Z. No more versions of I Heard It Through the Grapevine. We're moving on to something else, and we will have that when we return. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Apple juice.
She got it right.
Yep. Well, you might.
And here's the thing: I'm smelling it too. I can smell the apple juice. I mean, is it safe to say that I can the sweet stuff?
You're
can
picking up
taste
on
a
sweet.
little bit.
You're rocking sweet
than anything else. Yes. And you know what? A text came in and says sweet is the last taste to be lost, even with aging. Like that's the one that we hang on to the most.
Okay.
Don't know if there's any validity to that or not.
Well,
but
this has nothing to do with aging.
That's why old people love pudding.
Yeah. All right, here's the next one. This is mystery drink number 6.
Mystery drink number 6.
She's grimacing.
I know this one.
What is it?
I can taste it. Is it pickle juice?
You got it.
Wow. Kathy, so that is not sweet, unless it is sweet pickles.
No, I don't know.
And you don't like pickles, do you?
No, I love pickles.
All right, well, good for you.
So,
see, we're finding things that you'll be able to eat and taste. That's
Kathy,
great.
that's awesome.
So chocolate and pickles.
We're curing her. You're pregnant. No, we're Preston. You're legitimately curing her.
We're getting somewhere.
We should set up an institute.
If you've had the taste issue, you should do this type of thing at home as well. You might find 1 or 2 things that stands out.
By the way, Kathy, though you can't see it, I'm wearing protective goggles.
Hey, I had to take mine off.
You know what? And also the caller that we had earlier, though, Kathy had said that he could taste lemon for a moment.
Yes.
And then as he continued to eat, it would go away. So this is something you'll have to test with...
Why don't you forget the moose?
Oh, for a moment.
For a moment.
I got it.
Yeah, that
with
happened.
pickles.
That happened to my mom. She lost her taste for a really long time, and the same thing. She said it came back. She would eat, and she'd get it at the beginning of the meal, and then by like mid-meal, she couldn't taste anything.
So eat quickly.
Here's the next one for you. Let's try this. This is number 7. We have 15 of these, by the way.
All right. Not a clue.
Looks like she doesn't really like the way it tastes. Or are you just
I'm
perplexed
not like a
by
huge fan. I think it might be on the sweeter side, but it's not as sweet as that chocolate sauce.
it? Okay.
Like a pudding?
Pudding. No, it is not a pudding.
Let me smell it. Hold on.
Okay.
What kind of pudding are you drinking?
Puddings.
I smell something, but I can't. I would say pudding again.
No, it is maple syrup.
Which would be something very sweet.
Mrs. Butterworth's.
Not like pudding.
No.
Is it Miss or Mrs.? She married?
I think it's
Butterworth.
Mrs. Butterworth.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
She's
spoken for.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Mr. Butterworth is an accountant.
Here's the next one. This is number 8. We're at the pretty much the halfway point now. Let's see if you can identify this. No reaction facially. I thought for sure I would see a facial reaction from this one.
Well, I mean, you should.
I'm going to go I'm going in again.
All right, this
drink
is
all of it.
It's a popular paint remover.
She shouldn't be able to say, I'm going to go again on this. No, I don't think so. Wow.
What do you think?
Wow.
I like it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Wait,
So we don't know. Preston has the answers.
All right, she doesn't know, so you can take a sniff and now guess after smelling it. What is it?
Is it lemon?
It is lemon juice. It's straight up lemon juice. Normally, if one is drinking straight squeezed lemon juice, you'd be puckering up and going,
Kathy, you didn't do any of that.
Not even a win.
So that Preston.
So she got that wrong. She could smell it, but she couldn't taste it.
That raises the question. That reflex.
Yes.
What causes that reflex?
It's a good question.
Well, let me ask. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to try something. We're going to do a scientific experiment here. I'm going to drink this lemon juice, but I'm going to hold my nose.
Now, we've never met.
We've never. Well, we have met many times. Many times. But I'm going to hold my nose so that way the smell part does it.
That's the way to do it.
It's still sour.
Like you made the face?
But your taste is intact.
Yeah. But I wasn't sure if any of that stuff
Kathy drank it, and there was no puckering, no pursing whatsoever.
Like, even with her drinking that, and I knowing what it is, caused my mouth to salivate a little bit.
Yes.
Because that's what I'm
a little engorged.
Your mouth will do. Well, that's great. All right, so here's... Okay, this will be interesting.
Oh, boy.
This is our only solid of the day.
Oh, God.
All right, Kathy, go ahead.
So wait, do I have to
just stick your tongue in there.
Yeah.
Stick your tongue in there.
Stick it in.
Stick it deep in there.
Ew. What? I don't like that.
I'll give you a hint. It's not sand.
Yeah, like that. It's gristly.
Yeah.
Move your tongue around.
I have no friggin' idea.
No idea. Smell it.
I feel like it's probably a spice or something, but I have no idea.
But it should be very recognizable by taste, no question. Nothing when you smell it?
I'm trying.
She's not getting it. And she's inhaling deeply.
You would know this in a heartbeat.
Cinnamon.
Oh,
It's just straight up cinnamon.
Oh.
Yeah, nothing. Even after you know, you don't recognize it.
Not that one.
Okay.
The more you know.
If you're tuning in, Kathy lost her taste, and we're testing her on that. Let's do number 10, if you will, please. And we're back to liquids now.
Okay.
Let's have a little sipperoni and see what you get from that.
Is it alcohol?
Like rubbing alcohol, yeah.
No. That's all I
She's
get.
saying
It
alcohol.
doesn't taste anything, but I feel like maybe
like vodka?
Like a vodka or something like that.
Do you get a burn from it, or
Yeah, like a little burn.
Down your throat?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's why, because it's alcohol. It's vodka. She can taste that it's alcohol, and I get that, because outside of the taste in your mouth, once it goes down your throat, you get this warmness, this heat.
Right.
So,
Marisa, can I taste that one just to?
Hey, Kath, a question for you then, because I know you like to drink wine and you're pretty particular about your wines. Will you just go buy the cheapest ones possible now?
Well, no. What's funny is because they'll probably give me a headache.
Yeah.
I was at my brother's house, and he knows what I like to drink, and he didn't have it, and I go, "What is this?" He goes, "It doesn't matter. Just drink it. You'll be fine."
Thunderbird.
When friends drop by who can't taste anything, give them the cheapest crap you've got in the house. That's why I reach for the Thunderbird.
James Mason approved. All right, here's the next one. This is number 11. You should get something for this.
11!
Let's see.
There's a reaction.
Got a real
scowl. She actually did De Niro there for a second.
Yeah.
You're talking to me?
Whatever it is, I'm not a fan.
Not so much.
Interesting that there are bad tastes that work through.
Nick, it's not a bad taste. It's like that vinegar feeling again. Like if so I have no idea.
That makes sense for this. Do you want to smell it?
Smell it.
Smell it.
You can smell it. Do you smell something?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's doing De Niro again.
I don't like this. I don't know what it is. I don't like it.
It's Worcestershire sauce.
And you know what? I don't put that on anything. So
Okay. Not even in Bloody Marys? Well, it's already in Bloody Marys.
No, I'm not a Bloody Mary fan.
Okay, all right. So no dice on Worcestershire. We've got 4 more to go.
4 more.
Here is number 12.
You've had a pretty decent degree of success, Kathy. At least your ability.
Well, the vodka one I'm kind of only half giving to her because she couldn't identify it. You should be able to tell that it was vodka.
All right. A big scowl on this one. Preston's the only one who knows what this is. Preston and Marisa. So we're guessing along.
This gave the, puckering again. I don't know what it is, but again, it's like triggering something in my mouth.
Take a smell. Take a sniff. You don't know. You can't taste it.
Vinegar.
Okay. But it's a very specific kind of vinegar.
Yeah, the kind that smells like feet.
Okay. It is apple cider vinegar.
It'll cure everything.
You a shot of that every day, right?
That's what they say.
I should get my taste back after that.
Yes.
Right. All right, we have 3 more. This is mystery taste number 13. And let's see how you do on this one.
My stomach's going to be great after this.
I know, right? Fortunately, you're just taking little baby sips, so.
You're going to be farting clouds.
All right.
To get a reaction.
Spending some time with this one.
Okay. Not as much as a scowl from the Worcestershire. All right, so she's feeling it.
There's like something in it, some peppers or something.
Would you say Thunderbird?
It was like there was substance to it. There's particles in there.
Particles.
I don't know what it is, but it's making my mouth burn a little bit. It has a little kick to it.
Burn a little bit. All right, so but you don't know.
Can I smell it?
Sure.
Can I?
What do you think? What do you think, Kat?
Can I?
I don't know. I want to say like
good.
Pickled something again.
Pickled something.
It's hot sauce.
Straight up hot sauce.
Yeah,
What's the title of it?
Mr. Deck's hot sauce.
This is I'm the marketing director of this company.
Yeah, the name this particular flavor is called Butt Blaster.
Oh, really? Seriously?
They're out of Newport Beach, California.
I like that.
So
All
it's
right.
very, it's a very
Powerful.
hot.
Yeah.
Who brought that?
I did. I'm seriously the marketing director of this company.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I brought it in.
Did you come up with the name Butt Blaster?
It was a collaborative effort, so yes.
Who's Mr. Dex?
A college friend, and this is a side project. And this is as far as I've gotten as marketing director.
How do you like the taste?
I love it. I put it on.
Do you put that S on
but I put it on pizza. I put it on eggs.
By the way, this particular heat rating is 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's not that hot.
So not crazy hot, but enough to give you some sensation.
Yeah,
all right,
definitely.
2 more. This is another solid. I didn't know we had another solid. This is the only other solid in our list. So do the tongue thing. Stick your tongue in.
Okay.
Yeah, stick it
Do
in
that
there.
tongue thing.
Stick it in there. Love it. Stick it down in there.
Come on, man.
She's like an inquisitive look.
This, I get absolutely nothing.
Really?
Absolutely nothing from
Okay,
this.
so that's a nothing, and you should be able to taste it, smell it, and see if you can come up with something there.
Nothing, huh?
Like I don't know, maybe there's pepper in it? No, because I didn't feel that on my tongue at all.
No. It's garlic powder.
Oh.
Garlic powder.
Absolutely no,
I'll give you a
right?
piece of gum later.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, we have one final taste in our test for you, and let's see how you do with this one.
This one,
Yes.
I also get absolutely nothing. Like it could be water to me.
Okay.
Like it could, that's the consistency.
All right. Take a little bit more. This is the last one. Finish it all off.
Put your tongue in it.
Go ahead.
No, is it going to make my stomach?
3 WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Kat. So we're getting ready for an Eagles game coming up on Friday. Not going to find it down the street. Oh, no. Way on the other side of the world. And we are now going to Brazil once again to check in with Marisa Magnata. And she is indeed there. Marisa, can we hear you today? Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yay!
Yay!
Gotcha.
And I brought some friends, guys. Woo!
Oh, awesome. Beautiful. I see Philly sports guy there with you.
Yeah, this is Jamie. You guys know him. He comes out to Camp Out for Hunger all the time and says hi. And he's actually there all week. He's been painted up in Eagles gear all week long. He was at Christ the Redeemer in all like the paint, face
like
paint,
Jesus
and all the
paint?
coming up. Yes, exactly.
It's kind of weird to see him without paint.
Yeah, but Kathy's saying exactly every time.
It's hard to match the colors of Jesus.
Yes.
Right?
Every time we see, we're so used to seeing you painted up that it's always a little jarring to see you without his paint.
Yeah, I didn't
he
know it
can't
was
quite
him.
hear us. Yeah.
Yeah, we're having some audio issues with sharing the headphones, but yeah, they're saying it's a little hard to hear. It's weird to see without the paint on. He's just a normal guy with the mohawk.
I look just as handsome, though.
Absolutely.
How long does it take you to get painted up? And is one team more difficult than the other to do?
The Phillies are a little bit more involved than the Eagles, but it takes about an hour either way.
Okay. Yeah, well, you got that down to a science then, because you have some elaborate stuff that you have going on.
Yeah, when you do like pinstripes and stuff like that.
That's pretty heavy duty.
Yeah. So obviously it's in full force in Brazil. And where are you guys today, Marisa? Where are you hanging out?
So this is the first place I checked in with you guys, back at the beach. We have the hotel pool over that way. In fact, I snagged all of these guys from breakfast. You guys can totally go back to breakfast if you guys want while I hang out with these guys.
Who's behind you?
It's going to be a minute. Oh, everybody say hi real quick. Jamie, can you share that earpiece? Say hi where you guys are from.
Pass that wax around.
Oh my
here.
God, I am like dying right now. Is that hers?
I thought he was just going to hold it, Kathy. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Screw that up.
No, say your name and where you guys are from.
I did. Yeah, clear it up. Mike Gordon, South Philly.
What's up, Mike? Nice to see you. And then
Brittany from Downingtown.
Brittany from Downingtown.
Brittany from Downingtown.
By the way, Marisa is passing around an earpiece for them to stick
Go Birds,
in
go
their
Delco.
in their ear. See, they can't hear us right now because they don't have the earpiece in, so they're passing around earwax to each other. But now they're going to go back to their breakfast.
Good. Jabra headphones. I really thought they were just going to hold it up like a microphone, and everybody kept starting.
They kept
Do you have a
putting it
piece of gum that everybody can share? Hey, listen, can you talk? Did you actually go hang gliding yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
So yesterday we climbed a mountain. There's these mountains. Like, I guess you can see one of them over this way. I mean, there's these massive mountains. Matt and I were on all trails looking for some hikes to do. And when we were checking them out, they're like, nope, these are class 1 hikes. Like, you need mountain gear and you need to like lock in to climb. So we hired a guide to take us up one. And we got about halfway to, and then we climbed to the peak. Beautiful views. And then as part of the experience, they walked us over to where people jump off to go hang gliding and paragliding. And I looked at all of my friends that I went with. I was like, you guys want to go? And our guide was like, I'll call the pilot. You can go at 1:30. And we did.
What?
So what were you on? Were you was it you attached to someone, I assume, or what was it? It had to be a tandem thing, obviously. They didn't just say, okay, here's your kite, jump.
Yes, it was tandem. My pilot was very experienced, didn't speak much English, but enough to tell me all the great instructions that I needed. I mean, it was pretty simple. We did a couple practice little runs. And, they told me the tip of just like, when you're running down the ramp, just keep running steps, and then you'll just fly. And that was it. And it was just simple. And then we just guided through across the beach, past the like the foliage down below over the ocean. The guys went paragliding, and they were like near the apartment buildings near here.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool. And then we just landed right on the beach.
I've never had that on my bucket list, but I think that is now, because I've done skydiving and that was scary. I did it twice and don't want to do it again. But and I know it's it can be very dangerous.
Yes.
But that seems like that would be pretty awesome. Marisa.
How long were you airborne?
The whole flight was probably less than like 7 to 10 minutes.
7 to 10 minutes up in the air, cruising around is pretty cool. I've often conjectured the notion that you could simply jump off a cliff, and because you're so small, you would waft down like a feather. But at any point, was there any level at which you were a little scared, or is it so exhilarating that it overpowers that?
Yeah, it is so exhilarating, Steve. I thought I might have butterflies when I was taking those couple of steps down the ramp. As we were waiting up there for the pilots to get ready. I mean, people were just walking down the ramp and taking pictures of themselves. Like, people are fearless around here. And I thought when we, we're all hooked in and you're kind of just like hanging there by the guy and I'm holding him by his straps. I thought I might have butterflies, but he just looked at me. He said, run. And we ran and jumped and it was great.
Well, kudos to you too, especially with all the investigations going on in Brazil into the faux hang gliding industry.
Right.
Yes. I'm glad you didn't send me that link until this morning, Steve. Thank you.
In one of your videos, there's like a brief second of a dancer. Have you seen any like samba dancers?
So there are some people, that was like a woman in carnival gear. So we had a party last night, and Philly Sports Trips arranged, just like if we were in Philly, we would grab some mummers to come and hang out at the party. They had a dancer in her carnival regalia. I haven't hit many of the clubs, so I haven't seen many of like dancing going on. But that was our Rio experience so far.
So we saw the buses departing and the players coming down and all that stuff. And I mean, I think it's kind of really close to the vest, or at least close to game day, to be traveling and dealing with the lag. But the players are obviously there now. Has anybody been encountered? Have there been any eagle spottings?
Well, no, because they're all in Sao Paulo. We're
that's
still
right.
in Rio.
That's right,
We leave in about an hour or so, and then we head to the airport and head down there. I was looking for their flight while I was hang gliding yesterday.
Right, so you could wave to them.
In the air. Yep. Steve, I've been meaning to tell you, I have the number one reason you should come to Rio.
Which is?
And it's not the beautiful beaches, and it's not the drinks and the amazing food. They have like 42 different Pluto channels here on the television.
Pluto case.
Dude, that's my jam right there.
Absolutely. Imagine being in Brazil and being able to watch the Love Boat.
I was flipping through and there's like Pluto Animated, Pluto Geeks, Pluto Technology.
Well, that's like the Pluto app.
Movies.
Yeah, so if you get the Pluto app on your like Roku or whatever,
you got everything, man.
You have everything. You have all those channels. I love that.
By the way, Marisa,
I had to come all the way down here.
The video that you posted, the most recent one, is by far the most exciting one yet. It's got not only you doing the hang gliding, but also under the waterfall, and there's monkeys, or maybe as we call them in the United States, raccoons. Yeah. And a lot. You should be watching this travel log that Marisa has been setting up at PrestonandSteve.com, and follow her on Instagram and our account as well, because there's some really cool stuff.
It's amazing. I mean, it's Travel Channel worthy.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we really did a beautiful job. And kudos to Philly Sports Trips for arranging all of this. And, we did the tourist day. We did Chrysler Redeemer. Then I went with some friends to the famous steps, which are decorated by an artist in the 90s. And they've just kind of become this cultural phenomenon that people go and take photos of. And then we explored the nature and the mountains and the waterfalls all around here.
It's great.
Really taking all of this in.
The aspect that Preston, you've mentioned it many times. We've all mentioned it many times with the Philly Sports Trips. If you just want to, hand it over to them, let them take care of everything. They add so much. They throw so much on that makes it a great experience. So,
absolutely.
And they're really delivering with this. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, kudos to Vincent. Like you guys saw in that video, we had a little farewell to Rio party last night, and he hopped on the microphone at one point. He's like, "Thank you for trusting us. They brought 100 people to Rio, and everybody is having the time of our lives. We feel safe. I know there's some concerns back at home, people saying that kind of stuff. It's all been great. And, it's as fun and as adventurous as you want it to be. And they brought Brian Baldinger out. The former Philadelphia Eagle came out, and he was hanging at the party last night. He's going to be with us for the rest.
We're watching Marisa via Zoom. Look at the waves crashing by.
Yeah, it's amazing.
How cool is that? The surf looks fantastic out there.
But she said it was a surfing beach.
Preston, somebody pointed out, yeah, this is like a really popular surfing beach. And we were sitting pretty much right down the road there, about half of a mile. We were just sitting there eating dinner last night. After the party, we just got some snacks. And it was maybe about 9-10 o'clock Rio time. And we realized the waves don't stop. They're just constantly crashing. Sometimes you're near an ocean and they only
sands
crash for
to
a couple
the hourglass.
hours and a good time. Constant good surf. And as I told you guys, they light up the beaches, so you could just be on them all night long.
I love that idea. I love that
Very
going,
cool.
around the clock. That's very cool.
Man, oh man. All right, well, listen, we have one more day of updates, so we'll get in touch with you tomorrow morning. By then, you'll be in Sao Paulo, so we'll find out what that experience is all about, and then obviously everybody can follow you along online for the game and the rest of the weekend. When do you come back? When do you guys return?
So Friday night is the game, so it's 9:20 local time, and then we go back after the game, and then we get on a flight Saturday morning, and then we start our journey back. So it's a long journey. We'll be back Sunday.
All right.
Excellent.
Nice.
All right, enjoy, Marisa. Thank you for everything.
It does look enticing.
Philly Sports Trips. PhillySportsTrips.com. And if you would like to possibly end up with us with Philly Sports Trips at spring training, you can easily sign up for it. You can go to a local PJ Willihan's. I recommend the one in Wynwood, PA, today from 5 to 7 because Casey will be there. And you can get signed up for your chance to win, but you can do it at all of the locations.
Special guest newlywed Nick McElwain.
Yes,
Yeah.
Nick McElwain is. I forgot it's their wedding reception.
That's right. Yes,
we're going to give away Phillies tickets.
Spent a lot of time and money on this. Better show up.
Watching Marisa and all this adventure, it's exciting stuff, and I've been living an exciting life. Yeah.
You've had really. I envy you.
Oh, what adventures I've had.
And communing with nature.
I got stung by a wasp yesterday.
Oh, my God.
When is the last time any of you guys have ever been stung?
I actually, it happened right before vacation. And I meant to tell you guys, and I totally forgot. But at Preston, I was cutting the grass, and there are those ground wasps.
Yes,
and yellow jackets. I guess.
Are they the cicada killers?
No.
Oh, okay.
Those things are huge and nasty. This was maybe they're not yellow jackets. That doesn't
Hornets?
matter. But whatever, Steve, because they came out from the ground. They bury or burrow in the ground or whatever. And
bees!
And it just sucks. It's a terrible feeling,
dude. It hurts. Hurts bad.
Yes.
And
why does this hurt so much?
Come on.
I kind of had it coming.
What did you say? Did you pick on one of their girlfriends?
Kind of, yeah. So we have a swimming pool. We have a diving board. The diving board has a unit that the board is attached to. That unit, that base, is hollow, and so there's a nest in that base. And I knew about it, and like last week, I'd gone in there, and I'd had Carter lift up the board, and I could see 3 nests that were hinged underneath there. So I sprayed them with Wasp spray, which is what you're supposed to do.
It's like a real direct stream, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you though, when you're swimming in the pool, are they an issue?
I've never had an issue with them. I've just seen them there.
All right.
I've seen them flying in and out. I'm like, okay, I have to do something about that. So I'd sprayed it last week, and I was hoping that would take care of it because sometimes it will cover the nest. The wasp will get on there. They will eventually die from that. That stuff is lethal, by the way. When it hits them, like they go down immediately.
Yep.
It's pretty wild. So I saw one crawl out of there yesterday, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it didn't work. I'm gonna have to do something. So I went and I grabbed the wasp spray, and I looked underneath there, and I sprayed the nest. I didn't see any wasps. I knew that they were in there because I saw them crawling out, and so I just to make sure I was going to get them all. I decided, okay, I'll try to scare them out of there, and then I'll spray them when they come out.
What was your method of scaring them?
I started stomping on the on the diving board,
like you were doing river dance.
So I just went up and I went bang, 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 and then I stepped back, and then I feel the sting, and I'm like, that son of a bitch!
Yeah.
He got out of there,
meanwhile,
and so
you want a piece of me?
So I'm holding the can of spray. And I'm trying to Annie Oakley bang, knock him out of the sky. Meanwhile, I am spraying wasp spray all
everywhere,
over the place. It's getting on our furniture. I use up almost the entire can of spray, and meanwhile, my leg is pulsating from the pain. And then I realize there's like 3 or 4 more of them flying around. I'm like, oh my God. I've scared up the nest, Here we go. I'm going to jump in the pool, and I'm going to have to hide. Fortunately, it was only like 3 or 4 total, and I'm trying to.
We lost a broadcasting giant today when Preston Elliott was murdered by wasps.
I got one of them. I did get one of them.
Well, that wasp sting is worse than a bee sting.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
I've been stung by both, and I think the wasp sting is a little more painful, and they can sting repeatedly.
All right.
They don't lose the stinger.
They don't lose their stinger. Is there...
This gets better, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Besides the stinging, can a wasp bite as well?
That I don't know.
Okay, I'm not well versed. I know years ago I did have a wasp sting to my hand, and it hurt like a mofo.
Yeah.
All right, what kind of a venom do they like? Does it itch now, or did it itch last night, or anything like that?
Yeah. So the pain wasn't like I'm sitting there. I'm going, okay, this is gonna give us a couple minutes and it'll go away. No, it hurt for hours.
And then don't you become like a little bitch, and you're like, ugh,
yeah, totally. So I put some. I had some. Meanwhile, immediately I go into our medicine cabinet, which is a total disarray, and I'm looking for
Viagra,
some bite spray, which I know we have somewhere. I couldn't find it. The closest thing I could find was like sunburn relief with lidocaine. So I sprayed that on there just to try to kill the pain a little bit. No, didn't really work.
I can organize your medicine cabinet.
Okay, thank you. Actually, it is pretty organized. But anyway, so I put some salve on there, like some,
Absorbine Junior.
Absorbine Junior.
You don't know Absorbine Junior?
I do know Absorbine
Junior. Or
Bactine?
Dude, that was always...
Bactine.
Bactine,
That was for sunburn, though, was it not?
No. Those are for, like, Bactine was for, like, bug bites and stuff like that. I think
or
Absorbine...
cut.
Yeah.
Also
it had, like, a little ball roller on it.
Meat tenderizer for bee stings when I was a kid.
Yep.
That's what I should have done.
Yeah. Steve, I got
draws
some
it out.
wasp facts for you. So not all hornets are wasps, but all wasps... I'm sorry. All wasps are hornets. All yellow jackets are wasps. And wasps can bite. Wasps.
You're a Visco girl now.
Wasps. But they primarily sting.
Hold on, a yellow jacket is a wasp?
A yellow jacket is a wasp, and a hornet is a wasp, but not all wasps are hornets, and not all wasps are yellow jackets. You want a Venn diagram?
Yeah.
I'm just glad he said that so many times.
Here's some wasp.
There we go.
All right, so anyway, this gets better.
All right. So here you are, you're flailing around. You basically emptied a can of wasps.
I go in the house. I'm like
spray.
I'm like, I'm all pissy. I'm ready, Rochelle. I got stung by a wasp. I'm trying to knocking things around, trying to find the spray and
And Rochelle's thinking,
and then
I'm
like,
living in hell.
And I'm like, okay, I gotta go take care of this. I gotta go kill him. I can't just let this.
You can't let him go back and brag to his friends.
So I go back with what's left of the spray, and then I'm like, okay, they're not in there anymore, but let me just double check and make sure. And I hit the board again, and more of them come flying out. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I'm spraying, and I'm almost completely out of the wasp spray, and I'm like, I need to up my game a little bit here. So not that long ago, I bought a torch.
Oh my God! I knew fire was going to be involved.
No.
So you're essentially DiCaprio at the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I bought a torch. And so I'm like, okay, at least here's what I'm going to do. Obviously, spraying the wasp nest last time didn't work. It didn't kill them. They're still there. I'm going to go burn those mother effers out of here.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire.
Preston got fire.
So I go over to the board, and I realize I can't lift it up on my own. And
now that you're injured,
fire the torch in there. So I'm Rochelle, come here, and I need you to help me. What are you doing? He's like, I'm gonna burn them out. She's like, no, I'm not. She's like, you're gonna set something on fire. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna scorch these nests, and then they'll, we shouldn't have an issue any longer.
And
I go, I need you to lift the board up.
Lift this up.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Dude,
put your hands into there.
I have her lift it up.
If she gets stung, I'm going to be so mad.
No.
Okay.
Hang on. So I have her lift the board up. They're not in there anymore. And I take it, and you hit the button. It's and I just there are 3 nests hanging there, and I just graze them, with the fire. And they nearly explode.
Oh my God.
They light up. I immediately am smelling burning plastic.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so I'm like, oh wow, that went up quick. And I start going.
Make a wish.
I'm like, it's not going. They're not going out. The board's starting to turn black.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I am creating a bizarre file story right here, right now.
Only you had 100,000 gallons of water anywhere near you.
I know, but I mean,
well, you should have
how do you get the
immediately
water out of the pool?
Yeah.
It's
So
so
quick.
Fortunately, there's a hose nearby, and I think my phrase was, I'm like, immediately, and I say it as fast as I can. All right, this was a bad idea. Go get the hose.
At least you admitted it.
Yeah, I did.
She would go get the hose.
That was the wrong thing to do. Go get a hose. That's the wrong thing. Get the hose. Get the hose. And then Rochelle gets the hose, sprays it under there, puts it out, and then she starts spraying it all over the place. I guess there were a few more wasps in there that I didn't know about.
Oh,
they come
my
flying
God.
out. So she starts spraying at the wasps, meanwhile hitting me with the hose.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey. And she's like, I'm trying to kill the wasp. I'm like, oh, yeah, I shouldn't have yelled at you. But it was just, it was a comedy of errors. It was just all this stuff was going wrong.
Let me ask you, do you have security cameras in the backyard?
We do.
Oh, get him.
You had to have caught that.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
You
fire
had
him.
to have caught that.
Rochelle, what are you doing right now?
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to ask her
You
to
got to
see if we
get
can
that
find it.
footage. It's too priceless. And then, really, at this point, I think you're now eligible to move to Florida.
Nah, probably. I could be Florida man.
Yeah, you're now Florida man.
And then, so I waited after a little while, and sure enough, I saw a couple mother effers buzzing around, flying back to the board, and I'm like, well, I got to stand guard.
Yeah.
I got to stand guard. And not
You want a piece of me? Yeah. They're pernicious, I'll tell you that, man.
I'm gonna have to go back in there today. I will. I'll wear long pants.
Yeah.
And long sleeve shirt.
Go at night.
Is that when they are?
You really need to wait for them.
There?
Yeah, because the yellow jackets, excuse me, that were in the ground. They're not completely asleep at night, but they're more dormant, and there's less of a risk of them, firing up again.
Preston's coming again.
Yeah.
No,
Let's bite his ass.
I would wait until after sundown.
Okay.
Oh, you think look at he thinks he's going to get us now. He doesn't realize we're nocturnal as well.
So it was a little adventure.
Did you go get your wife? Did you go get your wife to help you?
But they hurt.
Yes, they hurt a lot.
They hurt.
How does it
I
feel
remember.
now?
I remember honestly. I was in third grade. This is going back a long time, and it was the gate on the side of our house, and there was a wasp on it, Preston. And I closed my hand on it. I have a knack of doing that when it comes to bees and wasps and things of that nature. And that hurt like a. I remember the pain even to this point.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember the wasp pain always being a little more intense. My cousin was out in the woods, sat on a log, and I guess it must have had, probably like a little hole in it, and there were wasps in there, and he didn't know. He was sitting there. They flew up his shirt and started stinging him. He was young, 13, and he was running home because he's getting stung, ripped his shirt off. He gets home, he got stung 13 times on his back.
God!
Yeah, on his back.
Just kill me.
Whoa. Yeah, the worst one, I think the worst one I ever had, well, there were two really bad ones. One, I sat down on a bench, and there was a park bench, and there was it was like a picnic table, and there was a nest underneath there, and Kathy had crawled up my pant leg. My shorts. So up in my inner thigh, that hurt really, really bad.
Listen,
I was a little kid, too. It scared the hell out of me.
You'll take the thigh over the boys.
You can get to the nutsack.
That's your nutsack.
But then another time I was playing Frisbee or something, I was running and I ran into a wasp that happened to be flying by, and it right by my eye. Right under here in my cheek, very close to my eye, stung me. That one
it could be a problem.
Was definitely the worst one, and my dad didn't make it any better, and this is where I get it from too. He's like,
I got a torch.
Yeah, I think he said something like, yeah, I think I've heard people losing their eye before.
Oh my God!
I kid you not. And my mom is like, "What are you doing?" Saying that.
What a bedside manner.
That's my
I
dad.
don't think you're long for this world, son.
Hang on a second.
Well, we still got your sister.
Okay, yeah. Got a couple of calls. I'm going to go to Tim. Hi, Tim. You're on the air. Good morning.
Please stop calling me.
That was pretty damn good.
Good, man.
All right. Hang on a second here. We'll have it for you.
I got to find it, but things aren't in alphabetical order, so we're going to have to, we'll just revisit this a little bit later
All
on.
right, sounds good. All right, Tim, what do you want to share with us, man?
Last week I was mowing my lawn, and I mowed right over a nest of ground yellow jackets.
Yeah.
And a couple of them came flying out. One stung me right through my shirt in my love handle. And while the initial sting hurt and it puffed up right away, I haven't felt a thing since. So thanks to my fatty love handle, it didn't really
You
hurt
were
that
protected
bad.
by your fat, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it didn't hit a muscle or anything like that. So not a lot of nerves, I guess, in my beer-encased love handle. So.
Dude, well, then, ignore the doctors who tell you to drop a few pounds because that saved your life.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Tim.
Absolutely.
Please stop calling me.
All right, let me go to Evan. Hi, Evan. Good morning. What is up, Evan?
All right, so years back, I was a member of a drum and bugle corps, and I was a brass player. So, we come to our set, and then I put my instrument up to my face, and I don't know if it was a bee or a wasp or whatever, but it stung me right on the top of my upper lip.
So the bee was sitting right on the mouthpiece?
It was literally inside of the mouth.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude,
that sucks.
That's a very sensitive spot to get.
But right now,
stung on.
a lot of people are paying top dollar for those kind of lips. So.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. And listen, Evan, how long before you could play again?
Well, I was smart and ran over to the store and grabbed Benadryl, and I was pretty much falling asleep for the rest of the rehearsal.
Yeah. Benadryl, I was going to bring that up, is a good go-to after a bee sting.
So, but is that mainly for allergies, though?
I think it's for the inflammation.
Yeah, inflammation. Like any
for the
type.
inflammation.
Yeah, because, I think technically that bite and the inflammation of it is like an allergic reaction to it. I mean, people obviously have a much, bigger allergic reaction where their throat can close and all of that.
Well, surprisingly on this sting on my ankle, like it never bumped up. Like I had a hard time finding it when I was going to put something on it. Like I had to push around in my skin and feel where it was sensitive, but it didn't raise up, like a mosquito bite would or something like that.
Try to suck the poison out?
You're going to have to suck this out, please.
Suck this out. Michelle, I need some sucking. Question on the underground or the in-ground bees.
What do you do?
Are they? And I've heard more stories that suggest they are more aggressive.
I mean, if it's Yellow Jacket, which is the one that I ran over with the lawnmower, and the last caller did too, it's Yellow Jackets. They are more aggressive. They will swarm at you, if you threaten them or whatever. And the stings are more painful than a bee sting. Have you guys ever used the baking soda remedy?
Yeah,
mixing baking soda with water and just putting almost like a paste and putting that on a bee sting. I remember you doing that.
I made hummus once.
Okay.
Yeah. My grandmother, believe it or not, actually, and I was a kid and I got a bee sting, she took a little bit of tobacco.
Huh. Yeah.
And,
sure.
And actually it had saliva to it.
Yeah.
And then put it on there and it's supposed to draw out
now
the poison.
Kiss me.
Yeah, right.
Nick, the thing with the baking soda, we also used to do with aspirin.
Yes.
You
grind it up?
Yeah, grind it up, snort it. No, grind it up and mix it with water, and then you kind of put it on like a paste.
Like a paste.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, interesting. All right, well, there's all kinds of remedies supposedly out there that could do it, but I was just surprised at how long it lingered and was bothering me, and I was just like, I was mad at myself because it was stupid to literally stir up a hornet's nest. As
you
they
literally
say.
did that, but I think we're at that time of the year at which they become more aggressive. I think they're sort of a do or die time for them. Or I don't know
maybe
what it is.
they know the cooler weather's coming.
Yeah, the end of the season.
Yeah,
and like F it, I'm going to sting this guy.
Here's an ironic home remedy: honey. Like you're already messing them up in the first place.
Rub bees on it.
Yeah, right. Grind up bees.
Wow.
Rub living bees on your sting.
I am going to see if there's video that we can retrieve
yes, please.
Of that. I don't know how good it would be. I don't know if Rochelle's like in charge of the security system, so I don't know where it's all focused on and whether or not the
Xfinity system, by the way?
No, it's a different one.
Okay, I'll tell you this. And you're going to hold it for a while. And I can doctor up some footage if you do.
Well, I just don't know if the camera's pointed at the pool or not. I think it's more the house. So,
okay.
But we'll see. We'll see. And if it is indeed there, I will share it with you. So let's take a break. We have a guest coming up at 9:10, and I want to make sure we get him in. Tom Nowicki, if you've been watching the show Bad Monkey, he is not only the captain of the fishing boat, but he's also the narrator of the program.
Yeah.
It's a great show. Most of us are watching it. Really, really good. So we'll come back in just a moment, chat with him and the Back to School A to Z. We're in the eyes. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to get to next, but let's all find out together. Yay. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
Not at all.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
I get absolutely nothing.
Take a sniff and see if you can tell from that.
Not really. I want to say, is it another alcohol?
Sauvignon Blanc.
Your favorite brand as well. It's Nobilo.
Oh,
wow.
You poor thing.
Nothing.
That's a shame.
Oh, man.
So, Kat, let me ask you then.
Wait, are we done? Can I take the...
Yeah, that's it.
People will often describe water as not having a taste, but it does have a taste. And so...
Kathy can tell those taste differences.
And you can tell those taste differences. So water, for you, like, legit has no taste.
What?
He's saying that a lot of people describe water as having no taste.
Right.
You were able, I think I am as well, slightly able to discern between tap and bottled water.
Yeah, so it has a taste.
But
right now.
Oh, yeah.
It has zero taste.
Yeah, probably not. I can't believe I couldn't taste the Nobilo.
Oh, that's a bummer.
That's crazy.
So to review, she got correct and guessed correct and wasn't definitive, though, but said, well, is it chocolate syrup? So you kind of knew what it was, but you really didn't say, oh, that's it.
No, none of them I knew 100%.
Yeah, all of these were semi. So chocolate syrup, vinegar, apple juice, so the sweets you could get. And one that you could definitely, that I think you got the best was pickle juice.
Yeah, that
And
was,
so maybe if
Have
you
some
really
pickles.
want to taste something
put pickles on it.
flavor-wise, you could have pickles.
Yeah.
And the other one was vodka. Or I put in alcohol because you didn't quite get the vodka right. So out of 15, you were able to identify really 4, and that's it.
Marisa, was the I'll just say it, the honey was that usable? By the way, I just grabbed these things out of the...
Oh, you know what? I just stopped at 15. We brought so many
no problem.
things, so.
It
You wanna
has
see if you can smell it.
the
yet?
honey has a taste to it.
Is that like spice
There's
habanero or
there's
something?
another taste, and I'd be curious if she'd be able to taste. Don't show her the label if you can avoid it.
What? Like it's
It's
flavored honey.
It's got another fruit in it,
Oh,
and
right,
I'd be
okay.
curious if with the sweet stuff you could do it. All right.
I won't look. I guess I can.
You can look at it.
Yeah.
Geez,
All right. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Rub it on your sweater.
Stick your tongue in it. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get it?
No.
Nothing?
Can you taste the sweet of the honey?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I can taste the sweet of the honey.
Nothing else.
No.
Because it's blueberry honey.
Blueberry honey. Okay.
No, and I'm having even the smell with this one is a little tough.
All right. Wow. Well, that sucks, man. Hopefully this is going to be quick.
Just
acting
400
and-
days.
And yeah.
I know that poor guy.
I know.
I
400
really
days.
hope it doesn't.
He said he was rage eating. Just eating out of anger. Even though he can't taste it, he's still going to eat something that he knows his body likes.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm not. I mean, I'm still eating meals because yes, you still get hungry,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm not really snacking because what's the point? Like, I don't feel like anything because I know I'm not going to be able to taste it.
Yeah, a lot of times snacking is just you want some flavor.
What about
You know?
hot drinks or things like that, like coffee? Nothing.
Not really. I mean, I know
people have
it's
said coffee is a big inciter.
well, and you know what, Steve? When it first happened, I was not leaving the house, obviously,
Right.
so I wasn't going to get my coffee. I could make it
Yeah.
at the house, but I was kind of skipping it because
Right.
I couldn't taste it, and I was getting the headache.
Do you think
And
you'll
I'm
try?
like, oh my god, wait, that's like the caffeine headache. You need it.
Do you think you're going to try that orange thing?
Listen, I'll try anything. Let's.
Might as well, right? I mean,
Try
if it
it.
doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And if for some reason it does, then you're good to go. Okay. All right, this has been the Kathy Romano Taste Test. And,
we cured her.
Tracks are yummy.
The Flyers lost in an overtime shootout against the New York Islanders last night in South Philly. The team stretched the shootout to 9 rounds, but the Flyers extended their losing streak to 9 games.
Is that?
Oliver Wahlstrom scored in the 9th round of the tiebreaker to lift the Islanders to a 4-3 win, keeping the Flyers winless in January.
Casey was looking for the Ferris Bueller clip of 9 times. But we don't have it. It would have been perfect to play it twice this morning during sports. Our buddy Jerry Blabbert, the Geeter, will be joining us. He's got his first show at the Kimmel Center Cultural Campus in years now because of COVID.
Yeah.
These haven't been happening, so he's going to be super fired up, even more fired up than he usually is. And there's a lot of classics that are on board, including freaking Frankie Valli.
Frankie Valli.
Frankie Avalon. Freaking Frankie Avalon.
Freaking little Anthony, the Chi-Lights.
Well, I guess so. Who else is that? The
Darlene Love.
Darlene Love.
Freaking the Vogues.
That's cool. Gary U.S. Bond. So he's pulling out all the oldies and goodies.
Press, you know how many times we've had Jerry Blavat on our show?
Probably 6 or 7.
No.
9 times.
Really?
Yep.
9 times. 9 times.
Thank you,
kidding.
I'm glad you got that. Very few times. There are very few moments that we can actually use a clip like that, and today we can use it.
I mean, I can't believe the Flyers went 9 entire rounds last night without scoring. 9 that they didn't score a goal last night.
9 times.
Right.
All right, so didn't they have a stretch earlier this season where they lost 9 in a row as well?
Well, they've lost 9 in a row.
10?
Now they've lost 9 before.
9 times.
Before they lost
9 times.
Yeah. And then last night, 9 entire rounds of the shootout. Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Time.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But the good news is the Sixers have won 9 of their last 11 games.
Oh, 9 times.
Yeah.
9 times.
9 times. All right, well, maybe we'll celebrate that the entire day today.
It's a beautiful thing.
Hopefully we don't get too...
I love it!
We're going to pray that doesn't happen. Listen, we can't let a Friday go by without talking about some food stories. I want to make sure that we do that now.
It's time for the Friday edition of The Connoisseur, the most popular version of The Connoisseur.
It'll be a quick one.
It'll be a quick one.
Today is National Pie Day.
Sunday.
Oh, is it Sunday?
Yes, I just wanted to send that to you so that you are armed with that knowledge.
Okay.
And we all like pies, don't we?
I love pie.
Yeah.
Well, why
I don't have pie enough.
No, but why don't they do Pie Day on Pie Day?
314.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, that's it. That's when that should be. You're
Do you
right.
guys prefer pie or cake? Like if you had to choose.
Well, it depends on which kind of pie and which kind of cake.
All right, so if you're saying, and I understand the parameters in the most general terms.
Yes.
With the accumulated vast array of pies and the accumulated vast arrays of cakes, I'm going to have to go with cake with the acknowledgement that I adore pie.
If you took my favorite cake and my favorite pie and put them in front of me, I would go with the cake.
I'd go with the pie.
Would you?
If it was my favorite pie and my favorite cake, well, it depends. 'Cause,
See?
I mean, there's
What's your favorite pie?
Remove a la mode.
The first thing that pops in is a great apple pie. Just a well-made apple pie. You just can't beat it. But like a coconut cream pie is freaking
God, we have
fantastic.
such different taste palettes. Oh my God, Nick, I would.
Yeah, you hate hot fruit.
I would go 100% cake. That's the main reason. Is most of them, a lot of them, have some sort of warm fruit in it.
So for me, the pies, like if you're talking apple pie, blueberry pie, I love. I'm not a big fan of cherry pie. But Boston cream pie.
What about key lime pie? That's my.
I love key lime pie, and I don't know, and I love lemon meringue pie.
Okay,
let me throw this at you.
Uh huh.
Pies are made with more love than cake.
Yo,
I think that's
how can you say that?
What a horrible thing to say.
Nope, I know
It's made with disgusting hot fruit. You call that love?
To me, it just seems
I
like pies
think
are
no.
just kinda
It's more difficult to make a pie.
I think
than I believe than a wonderful cake.
I think there's more love in a pie than there is in a cake.
I disagree. You know, listen.
Especially if you pleasure yourself.
If it's all willy-nilly. Maybe. But willy-nilly? Are you kidding
willy-nilly.
me? You just chuck stuff in a pie crust that's already been pre-made or whatever.
Yeah, that's what an amateur says, yes.
You would say that.
That's what a Marxist says.
If, you can do cake mix, and that's kind of a cheap way for a cake, too. But Steve, watching like the Great British Baking Show, which I've referenced
my God,
far too many times, when they make a cake on there and it's like a cake made with love, I think like if it's a chocolate cake and it's a cake made with love, I'm gonna err on the side of cake over my favorite pie.
Cakes are decorated with love. Pies are made with
pies
love.
to get it. Here's the deal. Now listen, since you've all acknowledged that I'm the expert on this issue.
We have.
We have.
For the purpose of this,
this argument, I am an expert.
Preston has a legitimate point to the actual making of the apples, the syrup, the whole substance, the meticulous nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're more likely to accidentally make a good cake than you are to accidentally make a good pie.
I don't know.
But
well put.
But I still
Court
believe,
acknowledges
right?
Steve Morrison.
And since you've all acknowledged that I am the expert,
Right.
Well, then why don't you get birthday pie on your birthdays? Because it's not made with love, and cakes are made with love. This is love you. Here's a cake because I love you.
I don't believe it's bereft of love. For example, my mother used to make me my favorite devil's food cake with she'd have the different layers joined by grape jelly and which helped. It was very thin, little bit of grape jelly.
Okay,
and then she'd make the homemade chocolate frosting.
Yeah,
and to me,
love
probably one of the greatest cakes I've
That
ever
says
had in my
love to
life.
me.
If I compare the greatest cake experience against the greatest, now mind you, my pie experiences have been incredibly rewarding. But I had a Nutella cake one time That was so good, and it's like they talk about the luster cocaine, like and all that chasing the dragon. Yeah. I feel that I've been doing that now. I haven't been able to replicate that taste in a cake.
Okay, team cake here. What about a lava cake and all the oozing chocolate? I mean, come on.
As far as I'm concerned, Kathy,
nobody said anything about lava.
I don't care. The lava. No one can ever down talk lava, even if it's the kind that's wiping out villages.
Right. I have a new
because it's associated with the chocolate lava, and I love that.
I have a new controversy to throw into this.
All right.
Cheesecake. Is that cake or actually a kind of pie?
All right. Here's what I'm going to tell you.
It's absolute garbage.
It's got a crust. Shut your hole.
Cheesecake is garbage.
Cheesecake is Preston.
There's a whole restaurant chain named after it.
Cheesecake is extraordinary. I would say this: you have more of a case to say it's a pie because you're not. What you're eating is not cake,
right?
So you have to have a cake element to it. I love. Give me a classic cheesecake. Give me with a little bit of chocolate in it too. I'm thrilled.
By the way, I love this text I got. It says, you don't put cake on a windowsill like a pie, therefore pies are more love. That is from Amy in
you're
Millville.
just leaving a pie out there for the freaking bears to eat.
Don't put that pie over there. The bears will get it.
Bears are going to get it. Or the squirrels.
Well.
I don't know. There's cake shops. Are there pie shops?
Yes. Yes.
Really? Where?
Yes. They're called bakeries, and they sell both. How about that?
Do they?
So we have.
Do they?
Bed and Breaks, the right up the street. So it's that is a well.
Do they have pies?
They do have pies.
Oh, they
I'm just saying, man. Right. When you're celebrating the life of somebody, you give them a cake and you don't give them a pie. Clearly, cake is love. Pie.
So let me ask you.
Pie.
Let me ask you.
Don't get me wrong.
You don't bring them a cake. You bring the grieving a pie?
No, you.
What about a large cookie? The large cookie. What does that cost? Is it a cookie?
It's a cookie.
Or is it a cookie cake?
That's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right. Thank you very much, Kath. We're going to get a guest on here in just a moment, but we have a little bit of time to play with. I have a couple of shout-outs and things to do.
All right, then.
This one says, good morning, Presbo, and gang. I know this is strange, but I'm a strange person, so it's not that strange. But I'm hoping for a shout-out for my 23rd birthday. That's right, 23 trips around the sun. I've graced the world with my presence, and I feel honored to share the spotlight with you, lovely bunch of bitches. My brain isn't fully developed, and I still can't rent a car, but I can celebrate my birthday with you guys. Rock on. And why don't you forget the moose for a moment? That is from Lily Moss Yerg, who lives in Mullica Hills.
I love that.
Shout out to you, Lily.
So you can't rent a car when you're 23?
No, 25.
Is that right? I would assume 21.
Here's another one that I found out yesterday. My son turns 18 in 2 weeks. He went to go buy a fish for a fish tank.
He can't buy one?
You cannot buy a fish until you're 18 years old. Buying a live animal at a pet store is not allowed until you're 18. Isn't that crazy?
Can you rent an animal?
You probably not.
Okay.
Maybe you can lease with an option to buy.
I'd like to rent this koi.
But yeah, Steve, I was very surprised. It was, listen, it's a beta fish, and you want to take care of the fish, obviously, but it's also just a fish.
It wasn't in there for an alpha fish, which would be more difficult.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Who knew, right?
And he pulls out his license. He's like, I'm 18 in a couple weeks. Is that okay? And yeah, this was at a PetSmart or Petco or whatever.
Why didn't you come back then?
Yeah.
So you can't, not even a fish.
Not even
you
a
can buy
fish.
before you're 18.
I mean, I used to when I was a kid. I used to go to Arts Animals all the time and buy fish.
Yeah, I did too. I
bought a mouse.
Maybe you were the reason why.
Yeah. You know what happened years ago? We call it the Casey incident.
All right. Well, listen, our guest is on the line, ready to go. So can't wait to talk to him. We have been enjoying so much this show, Bad Monkey, on Apple TV. It is excellent. Vince Vaughn is the lead. It's a detective show, but as you said, Steve, there are almost elements of a Fletch type thing. There's an investigation. There's a whodunit aspect to it, but there's a lot of good humor involved with the seriousness of this investigation.
And it is deep with rich, realized characters.
Yes.
Obviously from the source material, but we love the series.
And we love the recaps.
Yes.
And our next guest is the narrator of said recap and the narrator of the show, but he's also a character in the show. And he plays Captain Fitzpatrick. He's the fishing boat captain. And he's been in tons of movies throughout the years and shows so we are happy to welcome to the program this morning, Mr. Tom Nowicki.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, good morning, Preston and Steve. So I heard you talking about betta fish. Can I interest you in a severed human arm?
Only if the middle finger is extended.
Does it have a watch on it?
Not required at all. You can just buy it straight out of the back of my car.
Nice. No, Tom, this is great, man. We're enjoying the show, and I really have to commend you on the narration side of your role on this program, because number one, you've got a really cool, resonant voice with a great delivery, but the recaps and their tongue-in-cheek nature, I wish all recaps of all shows are this way, because normally you get just these lightning-fast clips to recap you from the episode before, but your narration character is saying, okay, so here's what happened. John did this, Joe did that, and so did this. Now you're all caught up. You got to be having fun with that.
It's an amazing amount of fun. The guys that put the show together are geniuses. Bill Lawrence and Matt Tarsi. Every time you think it's going to go in one direction, it doesn't. And doing the narration itself was fun, but doing the recaps was a blast. Yeah. He's so tired of talking. And then after the first episode, it's like, really, you need a recap? There's been one episode.
Yeah, it's excellent.
We busted out laughing.
Yeah.
My wife Tom has read the books and had read Bad Monkey and had forgotten about it. And the great part is she kind of forgot how it ends. But she goes, I read this. A lot of people are fans of the source material of the author Carl Hysen, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Hysen.
Right. Mm-hmm. And this it's like the Jack Reacher series is having a good run based on this those series of books. And here you have a wealth of material available. I'm hoping for a season 2 because I got to tell you, every one of these episodes along the way has been sensational.
Yeah, you and me too, man. I'm on my knees every day praying to the TV gods. And there is another book in the series, in the Yancey series. It's called Razor Girl, and if you can imagine, it's even funnier and scarier than Bad Monkey. So we are crossing our fingers and hoping Apple gets some religion.
Tom, I have to ask if it is easy to get caught up in the kind of Jimmy Buffett lifestyle of the Keys when one is working in that area.
Oh my God! Yeah. It's not even for me working in the area. I live here in Florida, and it is the laid back, head to the beach and get a little high kind of ethic is just kind of ingrained in my bones, right? Okay. So it did not take much to become Captain Fitzpatrick.
So Preston, talking about your voice, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you've done some video game voiceover work for some of the Madden games, correct?
I did, yeah. That too was a blast. Yeah, it was for something called Long Shot, which is it's a game within the game. And about a competition that they put together for undrafted college football players. And we go back to the high school where the star of that show played, the tiny little town in Texas. And I played one of the two small town guys who did the Friday Night Lights radio announcement. And there wasn't a straight moment in that narration either. It was our proudest thing was that every week we get more angry notes from the NFL saying, "You must not do that," and then we would.
I love that. Yeah. Well, let's get people enticed. You're going to be better suited to reveal what they would like you to reveal about Bad Monkey. We've given our raves. Give everybody a sort of a synopsis of what Bad Monkey is about.
Sure. So Vince Vaughn plays Andrew Yancey, who is a former police detective with the Key West Police Department, who has recently been suspended after a couple of very spectacular poor choices he makes in his romantic life go viral. He's been busted down to restaurant inspector, but even though he's not on the force anymore, he's continuing to investigate this case that begins when a couple of tourists on their honeymoon reel in a severed human arm and on a charter fishing trip. And the city of Key West wants nothing to do with this. They figure that rumors of severed human body parts floating in the Gulf aren't going to be any good for the tourist business. They're probably right. But Andrew wants to figure out who the arm belongs to and what happened to the guy so he can get his job back. And then the story goes up and down the Keys, up to Miami, over to the Bahamas, and it is you're right about Flesh. There's a lot more laughs than there are scares in this thing. But,
but
the detective story story is worth it too.
Yeah, there's some serious moments. I love Rob Delaney is sensational. The cast is great. Natalie Martinez, and everybody's good. But for Vince Vaughn, this really, I think, is just a perfect platform because he is a great dramatic actor. But the fact that he can weave in this stuff as well, and your scenes with him seem so casual and so effortless. I assume he is a good acting partner.
Oh, I mean, he's a comedy giant, man.
Yeah.
You know, and you let him go and do his thing and try your best to follow along. And the next thing you know, you've made a little bit of TV magic because so my favorite scene. I'm standing in the deck of my boat in the water. He's on the dock next to it. So he's like 6'17". I'm staring at his kneecaps, and even the man's kneecaps are funny. I don't know how he manages to do it. But
he's got funny kneecaps. I wanted to ask you, with doing a little research about you, were you briefly associated with the world of wrestling? And if so, were you a character named Lord Larry Oliver?
Evil genius of the South, 6-time world light heavyweight champion, hailing from the Falkland Islands. Thank you very much.
Oh, my God.
So that is true.
That is true. Yeah, that was me about 35 pounds ago. Yeah.
Did you enjoy that? Because we've had the wrestlers come in throughout the years, and they are such good entertainers, and they love what they do.
It is the best audience you will ever play for in your life. Everybody there, that's the place they want to be more than any place else on the whole planet, right? Nobody's there because their wife bought season tickets to, and they're trying to stay awake on Friday night, watching a play. That is, they are alive to everything that you're doing. Most of them want to kill you, and if you can get over that, then it's a great audience to play for, right?
It just blew my mind because you're a decent sized guy, but you're not what I would consider wrestling size. But obviously the character is what worked.
Well, when I was wrestling, I was 6'4" and 235 pounds.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, wow. Everything compared to Vince Vaughn makes you look small, right?
Yeah, right.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Hey, Tom, I love the set design, the outdoor sets. Everything that the cinematography of Bad Monkey is fantastic. And I watched the CBS Sunday Morning piece with Carl Hyacin and Bill Lawrence, and Vince Vaughn was a part of it as well. And that big monstrosity yellow house next to Vince Vaughn's character's house is completely fake. It's just the front of the house. Are you on that set ever? And aren't you blown away at the set design?
Yeah, I mean, the effort and the design, the talent that they put into the whole thing, you really would not know standing in front of it that there's nothing behind it. Yeah,
nothing.
I didn't work on that set, but I did, I was there and I saw it, and it's a pretty amazing piece of art. Yeah. So they went all out on this show.
Yeah, and the guy, the realtor is Mo Fat. I forget his first name. He's from SNL, a former SNL cast member. Yeah, he's excellent.
Alex.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. A very, very, very funny man. And the show is loaded with them. People you could barely contain, right? And for me, I'm not. People don't typically think I'm funny, so it's a little intimidating hanging around these people.
No, I think you're holding your own, and you have a number of movies. Obviously, The Blind Side, which is one of Kathy's favorites, and The Punisher, the Thomas Jane version. You did the Dolphin Tale movies, and you're a big animal guy, which I really appreciate. You and your wife work on behalf of dogs with injuries. You're doing hydrotherapy, correct?
Yes. We do. We do swim therapy for injured and disabled dogs. We're in our 22nd year of doing it, and we just last week moved into a brand new pool.
So, that's awesome.
3 years building. So
yeah, I've seen that sort of work really have massive benefits with dogs. It's a great way to treat injured dogs.
Yeah, and it's the simplest thing in the world. It's just swimming, really, swimming and massage, and it's just getting, dogs that can't walk when they're, on dry land, get a chance to get some exercise, build muscle, build strength, build flexibility, and have fun, be dogs again, kind of in the water.
Nice.
Yeah, so
listen, Tom, we can tell you're having fun on Bad Monkey, and we are loving the series, and we're halfway there. So 10 episodes, the 5th episode just came out. It comes out on Wednesdays on Apple TV. So we're psyched. We're all in, man. Congratulations on this.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you like the show, and thank you for having me on.
You got it. We'll talk again someday. Tom Nowicki, everyone. It is called Bad Monkey. Apple TV. Like I said, Wednesdays are when the new episodes come out. I love there's a, and this is giving nothing away whatsoever, but Tom's delivery is great when they catch the human arm and somebody says, wow, man, this is going to look great on Instagram or something like that. And he looks at it and goes, well, we're in the memory-making business. I love that line.
He's great.
Nick just pulled up a picture of the facade of that, McMansion next door to Vince Vaughn's house. And sure enough, it's just walls. They just put up walls around the front, and it looks amazing.
So, I was going to say something that might reveal something, so I won't say it. Especially you need to watch it. But I'll say this: when a show can pull off catching me completely blindsided, I'm usually dialed in, and I can pick up something even if they're trying to hide it. And I had like a completely left field moment with this show. That's how well written it is.
What's her name? The side action that he has, Monahan.
Yes, yeah.
What's her name? Michelle Monahan.
Michelle Monahan.
She's stunning.
She is.
In this, I've seen her in other stuff before, but I was like, is that her? Yeah, that is her.
Yeah.
She's wonderful.
The teenage girl who's also stunning. That's Bill Lawrence's daughter. Bill Lawrence is the creator, the guy that did Ted Lasso and Shrinking, and his daughter is dressed very scantily in a lot of that.
Oh, the dark-haired gal?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Rob Delaney's daughter. And Rob Delaney is in Deadpool 2.
Yes.
He's terrific in that. And
Wolverine.
Is he in Wolverine?
Deadpool and Wolverine,
Yeah, because as you find out, like, that character exists and... Never mind.
Peter, I think is his name.
Yeah. He calls him Sugar Bear.
Wow.
But in fact, it's a good run for him because he lost his son, Rob Delaney. His a very young son, like 2 or 3 years old, passed away.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So and for that's why Deadpool and Wolverine is dedicated to his son.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
He wrote a book about it, and I think it's called Grief. And it's one of the most powerful books I've ever read in my life. It's also hilarious when writing about a child that passed away. For it to be funny is really remarkable. But he was on Colbert talking about it 2 or 3 months ago. Rob Delaney is a really fascinating guy.
Okay. And what else has he been in that I would know?
He's been in a number of things, but he gets a lot of character work. He actually has done, and he admits this. He had one of the all-time dying comedy sets on Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, no kidding.
And it has become the stuff of legend and lore. And he begins to realize there's video of it. You can watch it. Yeah, and it's not working.
He's a stand-up comedian?
He does stand-up, yes.
Okay.
All right.
I wouldn't say he does it a lot, but he is very good.
I love the line in the Deadpool 2 movie where, they're in the plane getting ready to parachute. And he's putting on sunblock, and he's like, "Huh?" He goes, "Melanoma, has killed more people than any bad guy out there."
I can't stand his giant mustache.
No?
I just can't stand it. And I know it's for the roles. Obviously, it's grown that way on purpose, but it's a bit much. It's very porn stash.
Yes, it sure is.
As you can get. Wow. All right. Well, we have a few minutes. We can chat about something else. I did see this article that I thought was kind of interesting, and maybe we can break this down a tad bit. But there was a poll that was done, and it has found that the average American has 4 bad days a month.
Oh, days.
Oh.
Yeah, 4 bad
days a month. And what are they using as the metric for a bad day? For example, you've been stung by a wasp.
What's causing? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but that didn't ruin my day. I don't think I'd call that a full bad day, but it says...
hurt all day, though.
Here's what are causing the bad days. So you have, on average, about 48 bad days a year.
A month.
That's a lot.
The biggest thing is waking up feeling sick. Sick. Feeling ill.
I don't feel so good. I feel sick.
Followed by a bad night's sleep.
I had a bad
that
night's
sucks.
sleep.
Yeah, that can kill your day.
Sleep number bed.
That will ruin my day for sure.
Sleep number beds, by the way, now have a special attachment that will kill wasps.
Oh, thank God they've come out with that. And also another one is waking up with a headache.
No.
Well, that would kind of be
That's kind of like feeling sick. Yeah, but when I wake up and if on the rare occasion I do have a headache in the morning, that's a tough day to get through for me, for sure. Here are some other ones. Losing your keys, forgetting your phone, running out of toilet paper, forgetting your wallet at
Wait,
home.
hold on. But if you run out of toilet paper, that's not going to ruin your whole day, I guess, in certain situations, maybe?
Yeah, maybe not.
Dying in a landslide?
Sleeping through your alarm. These are some of the things that people say can result in a bad day.
That ruins the morning for sure. But I think you can recover. You can bounce back and have a good rest of the day.
And I understand. So I agree. I think something that can set you off in the wrong way. When I'm thinking of a bad day, I'm thinking from sunrise to sunset.
Right, like things
I've
happening.
had a bad day. So I just had it could have been a bad, and to put it into perspective, somehow my clock that projects the time up on the ceiling was ahead an hour.
Oh, no.
And it was incorrect. Everything else, I was fine. My alarm was fine. But I got up and I was all ready to go. Just, stomping down. And I'm not even going to be late. I'm sorry. I'm going to be late. Yeah. I wouldn't even be late, but it's still, it would screw me up. It wasn't, and I was able to reclaim the day.
So I didn't have a bad day per se yesterday, but I had a difficult day.
Okay.
And it was, and difficult days are a series of little things that just go wrong one right after the other.
Like a cavalcade, like falling dominoes.
Do you remember yesterday when I was leaving and you told me right before I walked out the door, don't forget to pick up the dog food that Rochelle told you to get at the vet on the way home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What'd I do?
You forgot.
I went straight home.
I should have texted you.
I know.
You are forever giving yourself reminders with Siri. Why didn't you do that?
I didn't do that one. And I wouldn't have looked at my phone before I would have gotten home anyway.
I got to get home and get stung by a wasp.
So I get home and I'm like, okay. I got to turn around, I go back, and that's added the 10-minute drive there, the 10-minute drive back. I'm thinking about that. That's 20 minutes. I could have relaxed. But anyway.
And do the dogs always need to eat?
So I did that. Then I had the bee sting incident.
Right.
And then I had 2 or 3 where I'm reaching for something. Like I remember specifically yesterday in the refrigerator, and I needed to get something behind something.
Right.
And the thing that was behind it, the stuff that was in front, was sitting a little precariously. And I could have done take this out, take that out, take that other thing out, then get the thing I need. No, I'm going to reach in back and try and get this.
Like a game of Operation.
Yeah. And of course, I knock all the crap off.
Right.
It falls on the floor.
If I had just done this.
And then later on, I'm opening up. This was for dinner. We were having some leftovers. We had some Chinese food, and I had this container, and it's not your standard Chinese, cardboard thing. It's a plastic container with a lid on it that you have to take off. And inside is, I know, this very easy to stain red sauce.
It's in there.
That's in there, okay? And so I'm pulling up the lid, and the lid is not coming open. And it's at this point that I start talking to inanimate objects. I'm like, don't do this to me. I'm talking to this thing. I'm like, because it's that fault.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to me? Don't do this. Come on, man. Just help me out here a little bit.
At this point in the day, do you feel, so you've gone through the day and you're this far into the day and these things have happened.
Yeah.
Do you feel you have a better understanding of what Holocaust survivors went through?
Oh, of course. I can deeply sympathize because I've had but I mean, it was just these were adding up as the day went on. Kathy, it was earlier when I was looking for the bite stuff.
Yeah.
I set the diving board on fire. That's another story. You have to go back earlier in the show if you're just tuning in. I set my diving board on fire. and then I open up the lid pops open, sauce goes all over my shirt. Of course. And so I guess.
So is that a bad day?
I guess that added up to not like, boy, did I have a bad day today. But it was just like, that was less than stellar.
I had a bad day. Just to turn it around.
You know what? Hearing that
Bruno
now,
Mars?
I'm having a bad day.
Yeah. Bruno Mars?
No, I don't know.
Who does that?
Jason Moran? No.
Jason Momoa?
I had a bad day. Got stung by a wasp. You set the board on fire. You dropped stuff on the floor.
Daniel Powter.
Daniel Powter, of course. The Bruno Mars of...
Yeah.
If you can sing that, then you're just having a bad day.
Well, I think if you can sing that, you're probably having a better day than you think because you have the presence of mind to be ironic.
Now, listen, I would much...
Don't you think?
Rather...
a little too ironic.
I would much rather have bad days like that than... a really bad day.
Like, I think of, God bless our, Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike has a bad day, It involves people that he deeply cares about and having to relay that bad information.
Yeah.
Dr. Mike has profound people fighting, and obviously we get it. This is a more superficial thing.
Sure.
But those days where you think nothing is breaking your way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
So for me, like a lot of times, like I had a really busy week this week, right? I had a lot of stuff to do on Tuesday after work.
Jazz tap.
God, I even forgot about that. Now I got to add that. But yesterday was one of those busy days where I had to, my daughter asked me to pick her up from school, and that was like,
I have a daughter.
I had already mapped out my day.
Yes,
Do you know what I mean?
yes.
And then I'm like, oh God, how am I gonna? All right, now I have to like rearrange everything because if I have a series of tasks, I'm gonna try and go in a certain order so it all makes sense. You know what I mean?
I'm that way as well. It's the monkey wrench principle that throws everything off. If you can train yourself to be more fluid, which is what I try to do, and it does help, and respond and kind of pivot when you need to, you save yourself a lot of angst.
By the way, real quick, just break in. Intern Sam brought this in. Rochelle called no video of me setting the diving board and my house on fire. So
You know what I'll do? I can now, because I've been using a lot of video programs and stuff. I will create an AI version of you.
That'd be getting stung by a wasp and then setting the nest underneath the diving board and the diving board itself on fire.
Here's what I don't quite understand. Preston, you described like a series of these things happening, and sometimes all of those things will happen to me, and I can just chalk it up to, well, that sucked. But sometimes it'll put me in a really bad mood. And I don't always understand why the series of bad things may or may not put me in a bad mood. Or maybe I just woke up in a bad mood that day and it like kind of just lingers and I can't shake it. And so like, Steve, like, the effort, the conscientious effort to be like, all right, I'm going to make a choice here. Sometimes that helps. And sometimes you just can't even get out of it. You know what I mean?
Do you know what the thing that works for me though, Nick? It is the reminding of myself that going down that slope and going into a funk is actually sort of narcissistic. Like you're saying, like other people don't have same things that go on like this. Like was I expecting to have everything go perfectly? Why would I be the beneficiary of the universe always working to my benefit?
I know.
What makes me that special? Then it helps.
I had a moment, Steve. This was a few years ago, and I bought my new car, and they got back to me. I was having to order it, and it was having to come. Be delivered overseas to me, and so they get back to me and they're like, "Oh, by the way, it's not going to be here in 10 months." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I was getting so angry. And then later on, I thought to myself, "Oh, Preston's all upset because this brand new car's not going to be for 10 months." And I was just like, "You idiot!
Yeah,
have some perspective here.
Yeah.
This is not a horrible issue." And then it calmed me down.
Good.
And I'm like,
you learn also to not
sit back, shut up,
to not beat yourself up for being human. But that's a perfect way to do it. Again, just like slow your roll, as they say, you know?
And sometimes, Nick, it does have to do with physically how you're feeling as well.
For sure.
If you are tired, you're going to be cranky.
Yeah.
You're going to be, grumpy, period.
Yeah, that lack of sleep the night before or a bad night's sleep or whatever, that will definitely contribute.
Nick, I know what you and your son have learned recently, that everything can be fixed with a good bagel.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Ben do like a bagel. I've thought, but you can't buy a fish, but you can buy a bagel.
You can buy a bagel. That was a great REO Speedwagon.
Yeah. You can't buy a fish, but you can buy a bagel.
Remember the hit?
If you are looking for bagels and you can't buy fish, boy, do I have a good place for you. It's in Wayne, Pennsylvania.
Nick shared a funny text of his son talking about bagels.
Yeah. I'm so proud of him.
Yesterday. So. Bad days, according to this survey, are most likely to have. What?
Oh, there we go.
This is the song.
Oh, yeah. The only part I know of this song is "You Had a Bad Day," and then the rest of it's the only part. It is a good song, though.
So you're saying 4 bad days per month?
A month, yeah.
So are the other levels like mid days or mid level? How many
good
great
days? That wasn't part of the survey.
Where the hell is that list?
Sometimes people apparently just give up when they think they're going to have a bad day. As 48% of those surveyed
bagel stores closed.
Admit that they've canceled plans or called in at work to go back to sleep when they woke up feeling like it would be a bad day. Boy, it'd be nice if you just call in sick. I think I'm going to have a bad day today. I think I'm going to stay home.
when I don't ever remember a time where I could just I don't feel like school. I would do that
before I worked on this show. There were a few times where I was not. I had no legitimate reason to call in sick, and I did. I did it at DRE. I did it at other radio stations. I worked out. I don't feel good. Just faking sick.
Right.
I don't do that anymore.
No. I ever since I was
I just called in to tell you I've completely lost my voice.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a kid, with school, my mom would always say, like, she'd be like, "It's okay, just stay home. You can."
She wanted a shopping partner.
Yeah, almost like a mental health day, and I'm like. And then she would go, and I'm like, no, somebody might see me or someone might know. I could never not be sick.
I do like that concept of the mental health day, though. I think that's something, obviously, if people take half a mental health year, that's a problem. But, I'm saying in a frivolous way. Obviously, you have some sort of profound thing going on, then you got to tend to that.
Yep.
But I do like that notion of sometimes that will help.
Well, actually, Pancake's daughter was here one day, and he said to me, no school. I said, oh, they don't have school. He's like, no, we're taking a mental health day. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes these little kids, they need it, so I guess that's what it was.
Yeah.
So for a bad day for me is, I think, like a lot of little things, like I drop something and I break it, right? Or the cat throws up, or
the cat attacks you for no reason.
Well, I mean, that was definitely a bad day. I was crying. That was ridiculous. But I think a lot of those little things, like if I come home and something has happened and it could I could sway one way or the other, and then I see cat throw up on the floor, I'm like, day sucks.
Yeah. No, it's for real. Bad days are most likely to happen at the beginning of the week. 36% of respondents say Mondays are when they are most likely to have a bad day.
Can you tell me why I don't like Mondays?
Tell me why. More than half of the 500 parents of school-age kids who were polled said that they're more likely to have bad days at the start of the school year, and 55% say that their child is too. And for 56% of parents, if their kid has a bad day, then they have one as well. That can happen too. If your kid
is having a bad day,
had something happen,
contagious.
That was you feel bad for them, and therefore it brings you down too. Hang on a second, I got to see what this is about. Janet, hi, Janet, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, Janet?
Good morning, Ed.
Good morning to see you.
Hi, I'm lucky. I'm semi-retired. I have 3 part-time jobs that I love.
Okay.
I'm a pet sitter. I work at the PPL Center as an usher, and I'm also a DoorDash driver.
All righty.
Let me tell you. Okay, I'm on my way to May and Spartacus, 2 very big dogs. And when they have diarrhea, does not make for a good day.
How often do they have diarrhea?
Well, Spartacus is a puppy and is still learning things. By the way, he's 7 months old and already weighs 120 pounds. And he is still adjusting to life in general.
Yeah.
They have it enough. I'm also a DoorDash driver. Love when I'm on my way to a delivery and get a flat tire. I've replaced 4 flat tires so far this year.
This year? That's a bad day. Car accident, even, I'm saying barring someone getting hurt.
Fender bender.
That's a day ruiner.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right there.
yeah.
Something like that. A flat tire.
And that's where I was.
A flat tire can take up hours if you got to deal with it, and that can be a bad day as well, Janet. So, you've been through this several times.
And yes, I also work at the PPL Center. For those of you who don't know, it's the Fly Phantoms Spirit League, and also a lot of concerts.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love the drunk, entitled people.
So you have a lot of reasons to have bad days, but do you have what you would call frequently bad days?
Right, but without a doubt, I'm semi-retired from corporate America, and I have 3 of the best jobs anyone could ever want.
In fact, you can have diarrhea whenever you want.
Whenever you want. All right, thank you, Janet. We appreciate it. So it does happen. Hang on a second. What is this? Oh, let me go to Brandon. Hi, Brandon. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy. What's going on?
So, I want to say my son was 5 or 6 years old, and I wake up in the morning, and I have a PlayStation out in one of my man cave at my house, And I go out there, and he's in there playing Fortnite, and he's got all these new skins. And I said, Hayden, where'd you get all these new skins from? And he goes, somebody gave them to me. And I'm like, yeah, that probably didn't happen. So I went on my bank account. He spent $300 on V-Bucks.
$300. Oh, this song's killing.
He bought the highest amount of V-Bucks you can get 3 times in a row.
Oh, man. So that's a bad day.
That was a horrible day.
How bad was it for him?
I mean, it was great for him. It was horrible for me.
It was amazing. He got all the skins he wanted.
Wow.
Oh, somebody just gave that to you.
Thanks, Brandon.
I remember hearing, this is it's not completely germane to this conversation, but a friend, quasi-friend of my neighborhood who was known to be a bit of a kleptomaniac. I remember I go over to his house, there's a whole new stereo system. And I go, wow, man, where'd you get this? It's like a Marantz stereo system. He goes, I was out in the park. Somebody left it in the field.
Oh my God.
Somebody left a Marantz stereo system.
Left it in the field.
Yeah. As people do, they'll take their stereo systems to the park for an afternoon.
Right.
This person obviously left without it.
That event had no sound system.
Yeah.
Wait, real quick, the Fortnites, I remember, because they can get expensive, the skins and stuff that the kids buy. And I let Jace buy something. It was not, to me, it was ridiculous, but whatever. Yes, you can spend that money to buy it. And then he asked again, like 2 days later. I'm like, no, what happened to all that? He goes, oh, well, I gifted that to Tommy. I was like,
I didn't buy that for Tommy.
Stuff that I bought you on Fortnite to one of your friends? Well, that was nice of you, but you don't get any anymore.
Convince him to gift it back now.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, well, kind of assess your own situation and see if you fit into the average, according to this article, which is 4 bad days a month.
Statistically, that's not bad. Not so bad.
It's not too bad, yeah. So, all right, I do want to take a break because we are having a good day with Back to School A to Z. There's some really good songs have been playing. I don't even, once again, I don't glance at the songs coming up.
I'm circling it right now.
So we're in the eyes. We just played Leonard Skinner. I Know a Little. We'll move on to a song from Kiss when we return. That'll be 2 Kiss songs 2 days in a row. Yeah, right there.
Okay, I had that out of order. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, my pleasure.
My
That's what I'm
bad.
here for.
Near disaster averted.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and come back in a second. Bizarre File stories are on the way as well, so make sure that you do stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised at your distaste for cheesecakes because
me too. Because I'm fat. And I got big time sweet tooth.
And you just do you have the feeling that I have, Nick, that he has not had the right cheesecake
I think
yet?
that's probably
I
true.
think we need to set up this the same way, like with Grindr. We need to hook you up with the right cheesecake.
No, he's got to go
and
to
let you guys
Creebles.
spend the night together.
Creebles.
Oh, Creebles. Yeah.
Yes.
So, or they should come here.
Yeah.
They're
Make it easy for us.
I
Yeah.
will say,
cheesecake
though,
is unbelievable.
I love a cheesecake crust.
Okay.
So if I had, like, if you're at a wedding, right?
It's not.
You're at a wedding and you're.
It's not a classic pie crust though.
It's not.
it's a graham cracker
Yes.
crust.
So
Right.
if
Lots of butter
you're at a
in it.
wedding and the meal is done and then they bring you a cheesecake and that's all you can have for dessert, I will eat the crust. No problem.
Crust eater.
Preston, here you go. So we're going to go to Bread and Beck's Bakery. We'll say that they are they would be experts in this.
They're
right?
an exceptional bakery.
On their menu, Preston, they have cheesecakes listed with the pies and tarts.
So there you
That's
go.
it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's
Okay.
it.
Yep. Okay.
Should we put up like a Twitter poll?
I bet your Marissa already has.
Yeah. Why did I even bother bringing that up? It was already done.
Marissa actually had it up before we started talking
well,
about
she
it.
did the cheesecake
Oh,
question.
okay. That's good as well.
All right, yeah, but I'm also curious as to whether or not people prefer cake to pie.
You'll get cake. Cake. I listen. I'm just sticking up for pie.
It's okay.
You'll probably get cake because cake is universally known for celebrations.
I think, but I hear you on the. I mean, some of the greatest experiences of my life have been with a pie.
I think there's more love in a pie. I think that it takes more to make a great pie.
Cake is a worldly known good dessert.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm not talking about decorating.
Do you know what I also love too?
What?
The very interesting offshoot, the bunt cake.
Oh man,
Bundt cakes are fantastic.
Nothing bundt cake is
Nothing bunt cake. Sweet mother of God.
They should really send us stuff.
She's so sweet, Kim.
So she Kriebels and Bredenbeck.
So, muffin.
I'll go in and
I'm on a diet. Why have we need this stuff? Right
here's
now.
the deal, Kathy.
I'm on my January diet.
I order so many things when I go in there. Like we'll have people over or whatever. When we're having people over, and you get so much that they're like, look at you like. You're really going to eat all this?
Well, Steve, and they have the little ones,
the little
right?
mini buns. No, but I got to get the big. Also, the big version.
Okay, so so they have the little ones, right? And I've ordered them a number of times, and they're absolutely delicious.
Like 5 dozen.
And you know how sometimes when if you go bigger, it doesn't taste the same. Blah blah whatever. We just had one for a birthday cake,
like the big
one. It was just.
Guess
delicious.
what? It's exactly the same.
It's so good.
I'm going to a text, and I quote: "She's my cherry pie." She's not my cherry cake.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
We've got a point.
That was a song by Warrant, Cherry Cake.
Right. No, Cherry Pie. It was by Warrant, starring famous model Bobby Brown was in the video, too.
Also from who's married to Whitney Houston.
Hang on, I'm going to go to Christopher. It was a different Bobby Brown. Hi, Christopher. You're on the air. Good morning.
Oh my God, this is insane. This is my first time ever on the radio.
Wow. Welcome, sir.
Oh, my
welcome.
God,
and
this is
what
crazy.
did you want to share with us, sir?
So there is someone on the show asked if there was an exclusive pie shop.
Yes.
In Ambler, Pennsylvania, there is a restaurant called Pie and Plate.
Wow.
And they are an exclusive pie restaurant.
Okay.
I love that idea.
Good to know.
Have you been, and do you recommend it?
Oh, my God, I highly recommend it. They have some of the best chocolate chess pie and key lime pie.
Hell yeah.
So not only do they have sweet pies, but they have savory pies like quiche and pot pies.
I'm down with that, too.
Yeah.
What is the name of it again? Pie and Plate.
Yeah, it's right on Main Street in Ambler.
Oh.
All
I
right.
make a good quiche.
Thank you, Christopher. Do they make, are there savory cakes? I guess so.
Like
meatloaf.
Like meatloaf and crab cakes.
Yeah, just put an icing on it.
Yeah.
Cakes. There
There you go. Juliana. Hi, Juliana. Good morning.
Hello. How are you?
Wonderful. What's up, Juliana?
So there's an awesome pie place down in Kennett Square owned by a great gal named Molly, and it's called Nomadic Pies.
Nomadic Pies.
Nomadic Pies.
We have the website up on our screen here, Juliana, and it looks pretty impressive.
Her crusts are the bomb, and all of her ingredients are local.
Okay.
I love
So
that.
all of her fruit, all of her meat, and if you ever get a chance, you got to try her pie. They're really, really good.
I'll say this, and it's been echoed a number of times, and you brought it up, and Preston, you agree. A great crust is a very elusive thing in the
fantastic.
world of piedom.
If you stumble across a great one, you're lucky.
Man, this is a great name
Marry
for,
that crust.
for a pie shop. This is in Boyertown. It's called Semper Pie.
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Is it like veteran owned, maybe?
I'm not sure, but it's
Semper Pie.
That's great.
It's on Reading Avenue in Boyertown.
I love it. Okay. So, yes, there are pie shops. In fact, for Pie Day, there are specials that you can get. And, Steve, there's none in our area that were really mentioned on this. But Red Robin has the Mountain High Mud Pie on National Pie Day. And
Red Robin's good.
Let me see. What
They have
kind of
great
deal
burgers.
is it? I don't know what kind of deal you get there. But
Yeah, and just mention the Preston and Steve show. They'll give you 2 pies, and you bring one of them to us.
No, don't do that.
That's accurate.
Don't do that.
I mean, try it.
Won't do that.
I mean, you could give
All
it a
right,
shot.
I was just trying.
I like Steve's idea.
They also have Red Robin also offers unlimited refills on sides when purchasing burger, sandwich, or entree. Unlimited refills on the bottomless root beer float.
Bottomless root beer float.
And even bottomless entree. The Mac It Yours is swirly twirly pasta. What? Okay.
So if
that sounds like porn.
all right, so if you had
How much for a swirly?
A swirly twirly.
Swirlies are blowies, right?
No, the toilet.
Well, there's 2 different kinds of swirlies.
There
One
is?
is the one where your face gets shoved into a toilet and you flush the toilet, and then another swirly. Because my friend was a cab driver, and the chick didn't have money and offered him a swirly for a ride.
I think she was just a crack whore.
She might have been a crack
A
whore.
swirly. So she offered to shove his face into a toilet?
We also did where you would lick your, spit on your finger and stick
That's
it
a wet willy.
in their ear. That's a
That's
wet
a wet
willy?
willy.
That's a wet willy.
Used best when it's your pinky finger. Also, you can use pinkies for stinky pinkies.
Jesus Christ.
Can you stop that?
Yeah.
What's
We
better?
were talking about cake
A
and
pie
Yeah.
or finger blasting?
We're talking about hot fruit. Kathy
Yeah, hot
doesn't even
fruit,
like
no.
that.
What's better, apple pie or finger blasting?
Yeah.
What if you had a pie shop?
I mean, come on, really? Is that really a debate?
It's already up on the website.
Yes.
What if you had a what? Oh,
a pie shop and the mascot was a rabbit, and you called it hair pie. Would that work? Would you go to a place like that?
Hare.
Yeah.
Actually, that's
and then
kind
put
of
it in parentheses underneath, like vagina.
Yeah, like pubes.
Get it?
Wow. Okay.
All I know is I really desperately want either a good cake or a good pie, and I thank all the businesses that have offered to drive them over to us.
Let me go to Pam here real quick. I didn't see what she had to say here at the end. Hi, Pam. You're on the air. Good morning.
What's up, bitches?
Yo, bitch. What's your story?
So I called in because there is a place, and it's not in the area, but if you have a chance to go in Savannah, Georgia, called Pie Society.
Okay. Pie Society.
Pie.
Huh.
So they're meat pies, meat and potatoes, but they're baked in a pie similar to, chicken pot pie. They also make fruit pies, but everything is a pie. The pastries are awesome.
Pam, this looks like it might be a franchise, is it?
I only know of the one in Savannah,
All right.
but I do know that they have a website, and if you guys want to try one, you can go online and purchase one. Most of them you have to bake in the oven. They come to you already pre-made and frozen so that when you bake them when you want, and they give you directions. I highly recommend them. The other thing I want to say to you is that my nephew, for all the times that I had sleepovers with my nieces and nephews, he always wanted pumpkin pie. The kids were asked what you wanted.
I love pumpkin pie.
I made the pie or the cake or pie that they wanted, and he was the only one that wanted pie, and I was happy to make him pumpkin pie and made him one to take home.
What was
I think it's a personal preference.
What was the cake that the Tom Cruise cake?
Thank you, Pam.
Tom Cruise pie or whatever that thing that we attempted to order prior to the holidays.
That was a cake.
Yeah.
It's a cake.
Yeah.
Is that so? I know Marisa hunted it down. They hand cooked them, hand baked them, and but prior to the holidays, they were absolutely unattainable.
Yeah.
Marisa's got her thingy up.
Oh, hang on.
Her swirly finger.
Steve, we just got a message from Goldbelly that the white chocolate coconut bundt cake from Doan's is now available.
So I will gladly purchase so we can taste on the air.
Like $150.
I will do it, and I will hand that receipt to Bill Weston.
It's for the show.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyhow, Sunday is National Pie Day. Should you be a pie person or not?
It does incite the passions, doesn't it? It's what we love.
All right, that's all we're going to have time for. For Connoisseur this morning.
I think we solved a lot of issues.
Did we? Yeah. Well, we do have a poll that's up, and is cheesecake a pie or a cake? And then do we have another one, pie versus cake? Okay, so you can vote. Now, I expect cake to win, but I believe that pie has more love.
Throw out pie versus finger blast.
It's what I believe. All right, Connoisseur, outro music as
stuck
we.
Here. The screen got stuck.
It's frozen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you.
I mean, just go out on that. I think
yeah. All right, thank you very much, Kathy. Some really great things about this next guest in the story. We were in here yesterday. We were watching the video. Marisa goes, "You got to see this," or was it you that showed?
No, it was Marisa.
Marissa's coming. Yep. You got to see this. She goes, "She's from Philly." And she plays the clip, and we're going to have her on in just a second. A reporter in West Virginia, a TV station, doing a live report, gets hit by a car.
Mm-hmm. And not like a little tap. Like she got hit and knocked to the ground.
Gets right back up again and continues the report. And I told Casey I felt like totally big timing yesterday because we're sitting here watching this, and I go, that's great. Get her on. Get her on tomorrow. And, of course, Marisa took care of it and made it happen. I'm going to play the clip here for you. This is clip number 1 of this happening.
And now we're starting to experience, unfortunately, in freeze thaw, we see this, water main breaks.
I got hit by a car, but I'm okay. I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay, Tim.
That's the first for you
I'm
on
okay.
TV, Tori.
Woo! We're all good. I'm okay. I actually got hit by a car in college, too, just like that.
Wow.
I am so glad I'm okay. One
sure
woman
you're
band.
okay, Tori?
We're good, Tim. Ma'am,
sure you're
you
okay?
are so sweet, and you are okay. It is all good.
Oh, my God.
Is that the woman that hit her?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I was, when she said I got hit by a car in college one time, I was like, oh, my God.
It's okay. I get hit by vehicles often.
And then one last part to play here. All right, here.
You know, it's my last week on the job, and I think this would happen.
So you were bumped
specifically to me, Tim.
Were you bumped down low, Tori, or were you hit up high? I couldn't really tell from the looking.
Oh, Do you know if I was bumped down low or up high, sir?
I just saw you disappear
I don't even
out of
know.
the screen.
I don't even know, Tim. My whole life just flashed before my eyes.
Oh, my God. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, a couple stories to run by you. In this first one, Nick, I'm going to need help with this pronunciation, and you're our geographical guy. On the island nation of Vanuatu.
Oh, yeah.
Is that how you say that?
Well done, yeah. South
Thank you.
Pacific.
And
All right.
Survivor's been on Vanuatu.
I know that. Okay, well, it's possible to visit pristine beaches, sprawling coral reefs, and lush green forests all in a single day. But among the island's most impressive natural wonders are certain someones who themselves will sometimes do the visiting. Few people know better than this particular TikTok user who shared an unforgettable video taken during their stay. Evidently, after walking in to use their bathroom, they found it to be unexpectedly occupied, not by another person, but by 4 extremely large coconut crabs.
Oh, those things are enormous.
They are humongous, and they are terrifying looking.
Well, they like a cross between a super nightmarish insect and your worst crustacean nightmare.
Yeah, and the reason they get their name, coconut crab, is they can literally crack open a coconut shell. Do you know how hard those things are?
Well, their pincers are so huge, or whatever the hell, the claws, and they will do mass migrations. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
There's audio if you want to really freak out about.
Wow. The alien-like visitors were actually far from alien. They're a group of local coconut crabs, the largest known species of land-dwelling crustacean. These protected animals found on islands throughout the South Pacific are capable of growing 3 feet wide and weighing up to 9 pounds. And so this user walks into their bathroom, Steve. There are 4 of them in there. One is behind the toilet. One's up on the wall.
Jesus.
I mean, I would burn the room and leave. These things terrify me.
So what's up here? These are a little bit different. I mean, or unless I'm seeing them.
I think that's the bottom side of the coconut crabs, Steve. So, but they get massive, and I can't imagine.
Well, you know what? It's appropriate that would be in the bathroom because I would crap myself.
Yeah,
you're ready to go.
So they managed to actually take them out themselves. These people took the crabs outside.
You know what they used? A torch.
Yeah, it's all the rage these days. A child was having a snack in a backyard in Aspen on Saturday when a black bear came up behind him. The family said that
those fiddle faddles?
No, actually, close.
Really?
Yes. So they had seen bears in the area before, even catching some on camera at night, but never in broad day like this. The boy and his parents were spending the weekend with family in Aspen. He was munching on a bag of kettle corn.
Oh, my God.
That's pretty close to fiddle
I got
faddle.
you, bro. Yeah. Love it. Steve does too.
The family had bought at a farmer's market earlier in the day. The incident was all caught on camera, showing the bear sniffing in the air while approaching the boy, who was sitting on a yard chair near a fire pit. The bear came within a foot of his head.
Jimmy.
At that moment, the boy's mother, Rachel Schmella, said she didn't know what to do. She said, I was frozen for a couple of seconds. I didn't know what to do.
Let it go.
She said, luckily, Rob and his brother kind of jumped into action sooner than I did, and they knew just to make some loud noises, and that would scare the bear away, which did, and no one was hurt in the incident. But it could have been bad.
Absolutely.
All right, listen to this chucklehead. On Friday, a driver was punched in the face because he complimented another driver's car.
Oh, you don't do that.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Did you compliment me on my automobile selection?
On Sunday, the driver was headed west. Traveling in front of the driver was a guy named John Sturgeon, who suddenly stopped his vehicle, approached the driver, and then allegedly punched him in the face.
Who the hell do you think you're talking to?
Deputies asked the victim what might have provoked the attack, to which the victim said he waved his hand and told Sturgeon that he had a nice car.
Wow, man.
Video captured.
Do you think the guy perceived it as a sarcastic comment?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a Dodge Charger. It's a black Dodge Charger. So, I mean, he probably gets compliments on it from time to time. But the video captured was from the victim's car, shows the Charger stopped in the middle of the road. Yelling and cursing can be heard. And you can hear the victim saying, I'm trying to tell you, you have a nice car, bro.
Yeah.
I like your car. And the dude had punched him and took off, and you can see the guy angrily walking to his car. And then he gets in it and takes off. So through investigative means, deputies were able to identify Sturgeon and travel to his home. He was not there when deputies arrived at the scene, so I don't know if they've followed up on that yet or not.
They'll teach you to compliment my car.
All right, this is a terrible story. A 16-year-old has been decapitated by a shark while spearfishing in Jamaica. Police said secondary school student Jamari Reed vanished on Monday while at sea alone. He was spearfishing in waters just north of the island near the popular tourist town of Montego Bay.
So the shark bit his head off.
Yeah, fishermen found a body the following day with injuries consistent with the shark attack. Local media reported that he had been decapitated with one of his arms bitten off and that efforts to kill the shark and recover the severed head are ongoing. Shark attacks are rare, with a total of 69 confirmed unprovoked attacks worldwide and 14 fatalities reported last year. But since 1749, only 3 unprovoked shark attacks have been reported in Jamaica.
That we know of, right?
Yeah, but so that one is definitely in the bad category. All right, and then one last story. A red pepper spill on a California highway. And normally I don't, there are so many spills that happen from trucks and stuff that I don't really report on.
And you have a character called the Spillster.
In the bizarre file too much, but it turned into a bee emergency situation after a signpost struck by the truck carrying the produce was found to contain a massive beehive.
Bees!
Yeah.
Bees! Bees in the car! Bees everywhere!
The California Highway Patrol responded alongside the Santa Maria Fire Department, who sent when a semi pulling a flatbed trailer overturned on Highway 101 and spilled its load of red peppers across the lanes of traffic. Crews working to remove the wreckage and clean up the crushed red peppers discovered a sign pole that had been struck and damaged by the car containing thousands of bees whose hive was now exposed to the elements.
Wow.
Robert Diaz from Swarm Catchers was summoned to the scene, and he used a special vacuum to safely gather the bees for relocation.
Yeah, we're a road cleanup crew. We're looking for Rochelle.
Fortunately, no injuries were reported from the crash or the ensuing bee rescue.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we're going to take a quick break, come back in a second, have a lesson question prepared for you, trash music news, and another song from the I category, and back to school A to Z. Stay with us. Plymouth White Marsh, please welcome Tori Yorgi.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Are you okay?
Yeah, I am okay. I am good. I'm just a little sore. Thank you for asking, but I'm totally okay.
So what happened was it wasn't a head-on. It was more of like a side swipe, but a fairly vigorous side swipe, correct?
Yeah. You know, I thought about it afterwards, and I was really grateful for the way that she had hit me because she pushed me forward. And, you know, I don't know, that could have went a lot of wrong ways. So I was just kind of, she I guess she must have hit me with the headlight and, you know, tossed me essentially. But it was all good. There was a patch of snow there, and I think that might have helped break my fall. I'm not really sure because I kind of, you know, blanked out a little, but you know, it's all good. Yeah, we just got back up and kept going with it.
Okay, so what day did this happen? Was this on Wednesday?
This was on Wednesday night, at 11.
Wednesday night. So then it hits the social media craze on Thursday.
Yes.
Today, you were on the Today Show this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would imagine yesterday was an absolute whirlwind for you, right?
Oh, yeah, it was for sure. There was I've never had so many text messages, emails, calls. It was crazy. And everyone wishing me well. It was so nice. I feel like, I definitely need to go through all them and thank everybody because I really appreciate it. But, you know, fortunately, I was good. I was at an apartment complex. I was off the roadway just right at the entrance of where you would drive up the hill or down the hill. And, you know, this is West Virginia, so it was a pretty steep hill.
Right.
But she was coming out of the complex. So luckily, you know, she was going slow enough, you know, that it wasn't too bad.
No,
it wasn't too bad.
I think what happened, what people instantly connected to is that you had just been sideswiped. You're saying to her, you're so sweet, and you were concerned about her, and people immediately heard you. You didn't jump up and go, "You crazy bitch! What did you just do?" You took a more sober approach to the whole thing, and that's I think what people connected to. You were clearly concerned about her as well.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. And a lot of people are saying that. You know, the thing is she didn't mean to do it, and I could tell as soon as she got out of the car, her face, her voice was super distraught, and I was like, you know what, I haven't hit anybody, but I've definitely been in a situation where I, was like, oh, I can't believe I just did that. So I didn't want to make it any worse on her, and, and I. And now I feel even worse because it's like everywhere. So she's just kind of, probably having to see it more and more. But she was really a nice person and genuinely didn't mean it. So I just figured, let me just reassure her, let her know I'm good. Everything's fine. We're good.
When Marisa told me you were from our area, I was almost expecting you to go, it's okay, I'm from Philly.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, we got to hear about the college thing. All right. What's
I know. It's funny. I don't know why that was like the first words to come out of my mouth. I really don't know. It was one of those things, just shock,
Yeah.
But basically in college, I went to Penn State University, and I was walking home from the library one night, true story, and I was walking past an alleyway, and the guy just rolled a stop. And he wasn't going, not maybe like 10 miles an hour, if that, just gave me a little push. Mm-hmm. And he got out all concerned. I was like, dude, it's good. Just keep going. We're good. And I just kept walking. And then, so I think in my head, I was trying to just reassure her, this has happened. It's fine.
I get hit all the time.
Yeah. It wasn't that bad at the time. I just was like, let me just let her know. That's the only thing I could think of as to why I said it.
It's just funny because it'd be akin to someone saying, oh, it's okay, I get hit by lightning all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, so what happened with her? Why did she hit you?
I don't know. I was standing in, like I said, at the end of that apartment complex. I was up against the corner, and she got a little, distracted with that, or, just it could have been a lot of different things. I definitely know I will not be doing a live shot in that area, in that spot ever again, though. Well, I've learned from this. It's all good. I don't need to get hit by another car.
Yeah, it's clearly, and this is a common thing. They send, you do the live shot from a location where a water main break or whatever, and it happens constantly. But, we've had stories here. We had the Fox 29 reporter, Steve Keeley, just got blasted by a snowplow. And that became a viral sensation. The truth of the matter is, you guys are out doing this stuff. Are we good there? Yeah, you guys are out and doing this stuff. And it's always a risk when you're standing roadside or by something that might distract a driver. So do they, when you're one of these kind of reporters that's going out to this sort of thing, do they give you a little instruction on how to maintain your safety while you're out there?
Yeah, they definitely do. And, we do have safety gear if needed, but I wasn't on the road.
Yeah.
So I didn't think, I just had so many indicators that I'm in a safe spot. Even the water guys were like, yeah, just park up there. You won't be in our way. You'll be good. And I was like, okay, great. This is going to work out so good. And but the thing is there is a lot of journalists out there now taking this incident and they're, kind of advocating for journalism safety. And I totally understand. I think it's a conversation that should be had. However, in that moment, I did not feel in danger.
Right.
Had I felt in danger, I would have left, and my boss would have never second guessed it. She's first to tell me, just head out if you're not feeling safe.
Cool.
But, it's just one of those freak accidents. But yeah, they do teach us to be safe and stuff. I don't know. It was just a crazy incident. And I really don't know how she hit me. My car was parked like 15 feet away from me, look up a little bit. But I thought that was going to be safe because people typically just go around it.
Yeah.
So they'll kind of, go around you too.
Sure.
Close enough to it. Just didn't work out in my favor, man.
Yeah. Well, Tori, so you talk about people advocating for your safety, and that's one of the things that started happening last night. Is people were commenting, journalists all over the country and maybe even the world have been talking about, because there have been cost cutting measures that TV stations are implementing, where normally you'd be out there with a photog, and so now you're out there by yourself. So people are saying that if you had a photog with you, he or she could have warned you that somebody was on the way,
right.
Somebody was coming. So there has been that sort of viral aspect of it all. Is your contemporaries
are advocating for you and other people like you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we could do the what ifs all day about it. The thing is, when you are in these size markets, they're smaller, not as many people, so smaller, mid-size. Even the larger markets, though, I've noticed lately, they're having one-man bands. And the thing is I signed up for this. I knew what I was getting into. This wasn't my first rodeo on a live shot by myself. So the issue, I understand advocating for the safety. I am all for it. And again, think a conversation should be had. However, in this situation, I didn't feel in danger. I was just like, all right, I'm just going to do a quick live shot. And then, a car hit me. But I mean, I didn't feel like
it's a water main break. Yeah.
It happens.
You know?
So Tori, listen, I know you're going to Pittsburgh next in your career, and oftentimes as you move up the chain in broadcasting, you'll hear from directors and producers to lose that Philly accent. Please never ever lose your Philly accent.
We can hear it.
It's so endearing.
You know what? I know it's because I'm comfortable with you guys, so that's why I'm talking the way I normally would talk. But yeah, on TV they do tell me you can't have an accent, so I do try and clean it up, but. In that incident, I was like, there is no way. I do try and put a filter on it and try, and I practice my speech. And but yeah, it's always going to be there. It's just one of those things. And I appreciate that so much because, it is home for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just part of me.
By the way, if you're just tuning in, it's Tori Yorgi. She went viral yesterday, works as a reporter in West Virginia and was hit by a car during a live report. And her last week of work, by the way.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, like, this happens on the last week. Somebody had texted in and says, your aunt owns a restaurant in the area. So why not go ahead and give that a plug?
Oh, yeah, I would love to. It's the best restaurant in the whole world. My Aunt Peggy, it's on Flint Hill Road in King of Prussia. It's called Gateway Cafe. She was they actually a few years back when I was interning at Fox 29, they went out there, Bob Kelly, and so Gateway Cafe, Flint Hill Road. They have amazing food. I think they are relocating soon, but of course we'll keep up with that. But yeah, no, that's too funny.
Maybe they'll name a dish after you, like pedestrian or head on. You're not sure what it is. You want to check, or maybe you just want a great list of awesome songs to, I don't know, maybe fuel some ideas for you as far as playlists and things like that go. Go to WMMR.com, and as we play along, you'll see the songs as they pop up, and you will know, and your questions will be answered right there. But what we don't have is a full list of everything, what's coming up. It's you're just going to have it roll out as it goes, and then you follow along.
I kind of like that. Yeah, I do.
Yep. So we have more eyes to go through the course of this. I mean, a whole lot. I is a there are a lot of songs that start with either I or I've or I'll. We do take a break and go through the ifs for a moment before we get back to I'll and then I'm and
Irma
and Inga and all those wonderful I's. But there's a lot, and it's
incisors.
It's a good one. All right, so today's lesson question. Let's see what we got here. We have a pair of tickets as MMR Rocks KG Elephant, and this is going to be Friday at the Man. And Young the Giant is on board for the Neon Pill Tour as well. The question that I have to ask you is, who originally sang the song, "You Can't Buy a Fish, but You Can Buy a Bagel"? 215-263 WMMR. What classic rock artist originally sang the song, "You Can't Buy a Fish, but You Can Buy a Bagel"? Actually, it was an album title.
Great song.
Let's see.
Great album.
215-263 WMMR. We'll do the trash while you're calling in.
The trash business is a gold mine.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Horizon Services. They can help keep your HVAC system running with same-day repairs, next-day installation. Horizon Services. Help is on the way. What's going on, Steve?
Well, Brad Pitt gushing about the red carpet debut of his new girlfriend, Inez Ramon, calling her the total package. Pitt says Ramon is the kind of woman he could settle down with and together raise children who hate him. A huge fireball exploded in East London on Saturday night, but cops quickly informed locals that it was a special effect for a movie. From what we hear, the movie is titled "The Night Hundreds of Londoners Needlessly Suffered Heart Attacks."
Oh, my God.
And finally, Katy Perry revealing in, this is the Call Her Daddy podcast, that she gives husband Orlando Bloom oral sex as motivation in exchange for him cleaning the kitchen. Perry says she has a similar deal when it comes to the laundry, but admits that one really hurts her butt.
All right, we're going to see if we can get somebody who has the answer to this question, who originally sang the song. You can't buy a fish, but you can buy a bagel. All right, 215-263-WMMR is the number. We will go to Nick, see if he knows. Hi, Nick, you're on the air. Good morning, man. Oh, sorry. Hang on, that was my fault. Let me say that again. We couldn't hear you. Nick, you're on the air. Good morning, bud.
I'm Delco. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We accept the apology, and we would love to accept an answer. What song saying you can't buy a fish, but you can buy a bagel?
REO Speedwagon.
Yeah. REO Speedwagon. Hold on, Nick. You just got yourself a pair of tickets to see Cage the Elephant. They are playing on Friday night at the Man with Young the Giant. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Yeah. I only have one story for you today. But this is a good one. Anniversary releases of big albums are nothing new, but it is rare that you see one like Weezer's 30th anniversary reissue of the Blue album.
I like that album a lot.
It's a great album.
Yeah.
But they're doing a lot with it. The band is hitting the road with the Flaming Lips and Dinosaur Jr., and that's going to build up to the November 1st re-release of the album, which will include a stunning 36 additional unreleased tracks.
36?
Yeah. The Super Deluxe Edition will be spread out across 4 12-inch LPs, a 10-inch EP, and a 7-inch single.
Just to get this straight, you're talking about the number 36.
I am talking about the number 36. It includes 8 kitchen tape demos, they're calling it, 22 early practice sessions and live recordings, and more. New liner notes from band historian Carl Koch, Coach. C-O-C-H.
Yeah. Could be Cook.
Yeah.
Or Coke.
So unreleased photos of the band and new graphics and lithographs are all going to make it this an in-demand item as soon as it hits stores. So that's a big one.
That is a big one.
Yep. That's all I have.
Come on.
I was reading a few.
You were
other
stung
things,
by a wasp, for Christ's
but
sake.
nothing
It's
was
a miracle
really-
you're here.
Nothing was ringing the bell for me. So yeah, I know. Yeah, let's keep in mind.
You know
Let's
what?
keep our eye on the
This
ball.
might be the time you break out that old flutophone and get to work on entertaining us.
All right, so here's another thing. Yeah, Casey, thank you. We are still taking votes for the MMRBQ live band karaoke for the Preston and Steve Show side stage. So you can go. There's like 50 people that send in videos. You don't have to watch them all. If you want to peruse a few and you really like them and you want to vote, go for it.
Yeah, I watched a number of them, and they are pretty damn good.
We're looking for 10 singers. Each will get a 4-pack of MMRBQ tickets, and you can get all the information at WMMR.com. And I believe the voting is going to end very, very soon.
I've heard rumors of Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. It's wrapping up very, very soon, and we need your vote. So please place that. WMMR.com for all the details. That's it. Sorry, keep it short. But,
listen, you wowed us and then you leave.
We're getting right back to the A to Z. How about that? We're going to take a break, come back in a second in the I category. Stay with us.
Yeah. My uncle was saying last night, he's like, we need you to sign a picture. We'll just frame it.
Just you being launched.
That's too much.
Well,
Too much. But yeah, I am a Plymouth White Marsh graduate. I'm very proud of my high school.
Nice.
And, Montgomery County was where I was born.
When did you graduate?
I'm proud of my roots.
When did you graduate from PW?
I graduated from PW, in 2014. Then I went to Penn State.
Okay.
So if you think of the confluence of events here and how everything worked out, and it's your last week at this station, you're going to a station in Pittsburgh, and you have this, I saw it, the whole incident was covered in the Daily Mail, for crying out loud, with the video and everything. It's global.
Yeah.
For all of the way this could have played out, it played out in the absolute best viral way possible. It's got to be mind-blowing to see that as a journalist. You get information out, you try to get information to people, and yet it's the reporter being sideswiped by a car that becomes a global news event.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, and you're right. The last week, like today is literally my last day at the station. I'm thinking, I'm going to be a big old crybaby going in there and saying bye to all my people that I love here. And, now I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to interview with a bunch of. It's just crazy how things have unfolded. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed my time here, man, and I definitely, it's just, you're right. It's just crazy how the timing happened. Yeah. And of course, my goal is to get to Philadelphia one day. So now as I'm sitting here talking to you all, it's just super unreal. And Pittsburgh's next, but hopefully that's not my last stop.
Tori, what's the station in Pittsburgh where you'll be working?
The station is WTAE. It's the Pittsburgh's Action News Sports.
All right, cool. You will officially be the most famous new reporter they ever have.
I just hope people don't look at me. Well, I know they're going to look at me and be like, oh, yeah, she was hit by a car.
It's going to take a little while.
I hope they watch for the story, and not to see if I just get hit by another car. That's
I mean, you never know. That station might have planted that lady in that car and made her. Let's hit her in.
That station too. They did call me like right away, the first thing the next morning, and checked on me, and they were.
That's
super
nice.
Sweet
That's
about
cool.
it.
Did they want to have you on for an interview or anything like that?
No. I think he was like, no. I told him I was a little overwhelmed with like the request that I got yesterday. So I think he was kind of, we'll get her when we get her, and it'll all be good. Yeah. So no, I haven't been on there yet. So, but it's kind of a weird situation.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, all the way around. Tori, I know you're a big Eagles fan. Did you see that Lane Johnson actually tweeted at you yesterday?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I screamed. I think I was like crazier than the Today Show. And then, I talked to Brandon Graham this morning on WIP.
Yeah.
It's just been a crazy like 48 hours.
Wow.
I love my birds, and that part was like, oh my gosh, that's when I lost it. Honestly, I was like, this is too much for me right now.
That's cool.
Wow. Well, listen, I can't say I'm happy you got hit by a car. No. I mean, that's just there's no way to say that. But I'm glad you're getting the attention you're getting. That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. I know. I it's going. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things. You just take a negative and make it into a positive. Everybody tells me my reaction was priceless, and I don't know. When you're in the moment like that, and the personality and just the person I am, I talk myself through situations, and I think that's what I was trying to do. And I figured, well, you know what? If I keep going on with the report, I won't cry, and I'll just forget about it. It'll be fine. And then, of course, when I was done, the report, it did not. That was.
It didn't mitigate it at all.
Yeah, but that's it. That's what a professional does. Yeah. You carry on, man. That's what you do. You're on your way.
You.
So that's awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on this morning, Tori. We know you're overwhelmed, but maybe we'll see you in person someday. Okay.
You guys are so fun. Thank you so much for everything.
Good luck with everything, Tori York. You guys. Headed to Pittsburgh, hit by a car on live TV in West Virginia.
I hope we see her here. I hope she makes it back to Philly.
You know. Oh my God, she's adorable.
Yeah,
she is. She's great.
She seems as sweet as you could possibly be. Man,
what kind of flavor is it? Cognac?
I've never really had it.
Is it a liqueur or is it a?
It's kind of sweet.
Okay.
It's like Yoo-Hoo.
It's a lot like Yoo-Hoo. Yeah. That's the grossest drink on the planet. Why would anybody ever drink
Shut up with that crap. I'm tired of hearing that. Every time Yoo-Hoo is mentioned, you guys crap all over.
I don't.
I don't.
It's a chocolate drink. It's not chocolate milk.
It's not
and that's the problem.
Why bother?
It's positioned as chocolate milk. It's a chocolate drink. And I'll tell you what, and here we go again. And I'm going to relive a bad dream. But no, not a dream. It happened to me. It was real. I was there.
A nightmare.
Field trip to the Bronx Zoo. My mother was actually one of our... chaperones. So she puts my Yoo-Hoo into the freezer so it'll be nice and cold when we're walking around.
Oh.
What happens? We arrive at the zoo, walking around. It's overcast, little light drizzle. Then comes time for lunch. I sit down. I have my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I figured now's the time to take a swig out of that Yoo-Hoo. Frozen solid. One kid found out. They all found out. And then the monkeys started laughing and pointing.
They're all going to laugh at you.
They're all going to laugh at you. No, Mother. My Yoo-Hoo is frozen, Mother. They can see your dirty pillows. I actually brought dirty pillows that day. Why would you bring dirty pillows to the zoo? For the animals!
I had somebody tell me yesterday, I'm going to bring it back to this. They were like, it was so enlightening to hear you guys talk about a female-based product, the menstrual cup, not fart jokes and porn.
Here we are.
We're back.
And we just did it all.
Don't worry.
We did it all.
Absolutely.
Hey, this might be the perfect opportunity. All right, Marissa, I sent you guys this instructional video.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday. Did you watch it?
I heard you watching it in the office, and I could hear it, and I'm like, what? It's got to be some sort of sex toy or something.
So it's this bizarre product, and I sent it to all of you guys. And the subject line I used was instructional video. Please watch. Nobody got back to me. Like not one person responded to me, and I'm like,
yeah.
Did I offend Marissa and Kathy? Well, I know I didn't offend Kathy because she was in the same room. That's
a terrible feeling when you send out something you think, oh my God, did I cross the line?
Right.
And I wanted to watch it, and you were making such a thing about it that I wanted to not be distracted, and I never got around to it.
Marissa, see if you can grab the audio from that, and I don't know if it's fully. If we can play it or not, but there are specific body parts. I don't think it talks about insertion or anything like that, but it is this quote-unquote massage piece of machinery that is one of the most involved-looking things I've ever seen. If it's indeed made for, it has to be.
Back here is the carburetor.
Oh my God,
yeah, it's complicated.
Oh
It is.
yeah, and it is there for pleasure. If you make it all the way through, okay, because things go in things, and other things go in other things, and.
There are some things that and we've talked. I remember one time we did. I think we were doing an appearance at maybe Risque's store or whatever when it existed, and there were things in there I would have thought were actually involved in construction that were that. There's no way that is a sexual thing.
But Kath, when you were talking about sending things to people, and I have done that, I've sent things to you, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And then I go, oh wait, no, she has sent me the picture of that guy sitting on the on the side of his bed
with his giant penis.
with his giant thing hanging out. I'm like, okay, I think I might be safe here.
I love when they will insert. They will have like a dignitary at some meeting, like in Parliament, and they will insert that picture in one of the frames behind him.
Dude, the latest one, it was a COVID test. Yep. And I sent it to Kathy. I'm like, dude, I think I came back positive, and she's like, dude, I got this like 3 days ago.
I didn't say that. I sent you a screenshot of the text that Preston sent me
I had already
said,
sent
I think
it to
I
her.
tested positive.
There was only one person I wanted to send that to, and that was Kathy. Yeah, listen, I bought Kathy for one of her birthdays, like a butthole polisher one time. Right? Yeah, I thought it was nice.
Right?
Yeah, so you can't cross the line with her. No. I don't think so.
No, there's. I don't. Yes, I don't get offended by anything. I don't think it's all funny, but I don't. Right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I don't get offended if you get me a butt plug.
Like I've lost. I traded in, and I've always said this. I say of offensive things all the time. I do not have the right to get offended. It's just it's my deal.
Right.
If I dish it out, I have to be able to take it.
Right.
But if Kathy ever wanted to get us fired,
oh my God!
Jesus. Oh yeah, there's so much ammo. It's not even.
I mean, then all you have to do is show the text from her on the phone. You'll be reinstated.
I will also
my mind.
I will also think of the time that you put a Sharpie in my butt crack, and you don't remember that, but I do.
No.
I'm like, yes.
Did I draw on your butt?
No. I was like
today, but we got to play some really cool ones. Started off the day with the second song we played was the Creedence Clearwater Revival version of "Heard It Through the Grapevine." All 10 minutes and 39 seconds of it, which is great. And then we followed that up with the Marvin Gaye amazing version. They're both great versions, but Marvin Gaye's voice is just something.
It's amazing.
Stands out on its own, obviously. And we worked our way through a few different iSongs. The iSongs continue on for quite a while. And Pierre will usher you through all of that today. We also had a fun interview. Actor Tom Nowicki was on the show.
Yeah.
And he's from the program called Bad Monkey on Apple TV. It's a Vince Vaughn starred show, and new episodes are out every Wednesday, and he was a nice guy. And we spoke to Marisa live from Brazil. Yeah, Magneta. And she is headed to Sao Paulo this afternoon, as the Eagles game is tomorrow. And
So that's
we'll be there.
I never quite figured out what the exact plan of attack was. It's a 5-hour drive, from what she said, and a 90-minute flight?
Yeah, a little less than 90 minutes.
Okay, is she going to fly or are they driving?
No, they're flying.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So they'll be headed out today, and when we talk to her tomorrow, she'll be in Sao Paulo, which is her final destination while in Brazil. And we'll see what's been going on. But she went hang gliding. That's hang gliding.
Yeah.
I know.
I've forgotten people even do that. Paragliding and things like that. You never really see hang gliders. And she was on one of those classic hang gliding.
I just learned how to do the Charleston.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a little
That's how
behind
far
the
back
times.
I am.
But it was great, and there's videos if you want to see them, and lots of pictures on WMMR.com. And, of course, you can follow her on social media as well and check out the videos and so on. It's really good stuff. Pierre Robert is here. Hey, man.
Is she trained as a hang glider, or is that one of those things where you do
Tandem.
a dual thing?
Yeah, you do a tandem.
Okay.
And so, yeah. So she actually got into the pocket of the guy who was doing it.
That is terrifying to me, particularly in a foreign country. I went to Jamaica and did the parachute thing. And
the tethered parachute towed behind the boat?
Skydiving?
Yeah.
no, the behind a boat parachute
Parasailing.
thing.
Oh, parasailing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my foot caught when he went to dip, and I went under. And I thought that was the end of me.
Goodbye, cruel world.
Yeah.
And 'cause it was terrifying because I thought he was going to continue dragging me underwater. I panicked. And he came around and he started yelling at me. I said, "What the F are you yelling at me about? It's your fault." And then he gave me a free ride after that.
I saw that happen. I also did it. I did not get pulled underwater, but my cousin went after me, and he did. And he flipped backwards, and they kept going, and the guys were laughing. I'm like, I think he's drowning. Can we stop? Can we
Is that in Jamaica too?
fix this? No, this was here at the Jersey Shore.
Wow.
But my cousin came up and was laughing and was like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
No, not me.
Guess we're all right.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Aspen, I did a thing where you ski down the mountain where you sign up for it. All the release forms that you sign before these, I don't know if they do it where Marisa was, but all these release forms that if you die, you might die. I agree, I might die. And then you meet the guy halfway up the hill on a fairly nice incline. You leave your skis there. You take them off. Yeah, you leave your skis there, take them off. They pick up the skis and bring them down for you. The guy spreads a parachute out over the top of the hill, and he gets in it and then hooks you in it. And I go, now what do we do? He says, start running. And you start running down the hill, and all of a sudden you've taken off basically of a cliff.
You did this?
Yeah.
And how was it?
It was just stunning.
Yeah.
He let me fly for a while, which was frightening. And then you land in a valley down below, and there's somebody there to pick you up. Really,
So
really cool.
that's not too dissimilar from hang gliding. It's kind of the same thing.
They just seem so fragile.
Yeah.
God, she's a daredevil, that one.
Yep, she goes for it. So if you want to check out the videos, you can definitely see that on the website. Letter of the day. We should do that. Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter.
O is in octopus, I hope.
All right. Yep, we'll find out tomorrow. 4 tickets and 4 front stretch access passes to the NASCAR Cup Series race, July 20th of next year. Next summer is going to be a monster when NASCAR returns to the Monster Mile. Dover Motor Speedway, July 18th to the 20th. For tickets and information, you can go to dovermotorspeedway.com. Do I understand there's some interesting information surrounding Lincoln Park that's going to be taking place today?
There is there's some event happening. There was one a week ago, and a countdown clock. I think you referenced it in Music News, and it was happening during my program, and we followed it all the way down, and it hit 0, and then it started counting up again.
Right, yes.
So whatever it was they had prepared wasn't prepared, unless that was just a tease. Today, there's some announcement and a possible performance, because Lincoln Park fan club members got some kind of access to something, but it's a little vague. But we would assume this is prelude to an announcement of, at the very least, a show or some kind of a tour.
So the original countdown, Preston, you reported on the story, was that the former lead singer of Sum 41, was that it?
Yeah, that was a side story.
No. They had a countdown.
Right.
Derek had said that there was some kind of announcement coming. Right. People thought maybe that he was going to be brought on to the band.
But it just happened to be coincidence.
with a book that he was releasing.
Right.
So it's nothing to do with
that.
Yeah. So
all right.
We'll see. If it happens, we will report on it. Otherwise, we continue the A to Z in the letter I. And I love that you had 10 minutes. You had a 10-minute song.
Yes.
That was, is that the longest song you guys have had?
So far.
This time around. We've had others that were longer.
I may have told you this story before, but I did mornings, and we would go into a commercial at 10 minutes before the hour and one at 10 after the hour, which gave us about 25 minutes in between, which was musical in those days, unless I chose to wax on some brilliant topic. And Supper's Ready came up during that time. And I had to play all 25 or 30 minutes of Supper's Ready, but it was the one song between the two breaks. It was fun.
That is great. Yeah.
I'd love it if you guys got Supper's Ready.
We'd do it. We would do it.
Yeah, I know you would.
We abide by the rules.
Casey was like, what do you want to do this morning with this song? I'm like, we play it, man. It's back to school A to Z. So that's what we're doing.
Don't screw with the professor.
All right, I'm going to thank our sponsors. President Steve Show brought to you today by Dunkin', and the President Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and by the Bet Parks Online Casino and Sportsbook. With bet sports and play casino games, you bet. Bet Parks tomorrow on our program to wrap up the week. No sad bro. It'll be a Friday. A couple of great guests joining us. We will have one of our favorites, Adam Ferrara, joining us.
The best.
Our good friend Michael Barkan will be in the studio.
Yes.
He's got an interesting thing he wants to do with us. And then, obviously, as we said, Marisa in Sao Paulo, we will check in with her, amongst other things. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Preston and Steve on the...